We're not gonna start over.
We're not starting over.
We're
running with it, baby.
We're just gonna keep on barreling through. All right, so we're gonna talk about Capcom doing some stuff that probably was not so great. We're gonna talk about a bunch of tournament results, although not forever. We're gonna talk about some other game news. We're gonna talk about some community news, and we're gonna talk about Civil War. And there are gonna be super spoilers.
That's
and so that will be at the end. We'll give you the whole warning. If you don't want to know anything about it,
I'm spoiling it right now through my pores.
But hey, you know what?
I'm spoiling the movie.
That'll be at the end, so you'll have plenty of UltraChen time before that comes up.
Yes, that is correct.
It's so good.
It's very good. That's not a spoiler, all right? Thumbs up.
The helicopter scene?
Fucking Jesus! Alright, I'm done. Alright, I'm sorry.
Okay, no, it's okay. It's okay. I'm good. Just don't lie. I survived seeing it sitting there. Dude.
I survived twice seeing it next
Okay,
time.
we'll get into it later.
We'll talk about it later.
Okay.
Anyway,
Capcom,
what's this first thing about?
Yeah, so look, Capcom CEO came out, and you saw those commercials before of with like that hotel company with Captain Obvious or something like that? Like, yeah, that's pretty much the situation here. The Capcom CEO came out and admitted that Street Fighter V needed a little bit more polish during launch.
You think, huh?
Just a little bit. Wasn't much missing there.
And basically they said, okay, we're not... Because look, they tried to get it out for the fiscal year. They wanted to get it out because they wanted to make some money for the fiscal year. This is the way companies work. This fiscal financial year is super important. I hate it. I hate the way it works. It causes companies to do really stupid things.
Like release Street Fighter V.
Exactly. Yeah. And so the CEO said, we won't do that. We're going to try to make sure the quality is good from now on and before we release a, like half-completed game.
Yeah, he specifically mentioned the lack of content and server issues at launch.
Yeah. And we also, apparently, according to some online detectives, going through and finding the resume, I guess, of the guy who was writing, who basically worked on the game. And the resume said something like, hey, I implemented the netcode for Street Fighter V. It was a one-man operation.
It was for CFN, right? He's like, yeah, I built the structure and everything for CFN. A one-man job by myself. And I was like, wow.
There's no basically about it that he worked on the game. He built that game in a significant way.
By himself.
Yeah.
That's pretty bad.
Ooh,
like
that is terrifying.
It's terrible. One, it's what we got. Two, it's terrible. And three, it's the fact that it leaked out. So now you know that that's negligence on your part. Why would you give a job like that to one person, especially when you expect it to house so much of something that you need?
It's
didn't they outsource the netcode to some other company too? Also, I heard about.
Apparently to this guy.
I
don't think it's.
I thought this guy was just CFN, and then netcode was like another company or something.
Right.
I don't know. It sounds like good ideas.
I mean, look, I know being a part of a software company that stupid things like this happen. I mean, it just happens, but this is the most important part of your game. The netcode, at some point in time, fighting game companies like Iron Galaxy, like Lab Zero, are going to realize that the netcode is 90% most important thing about your game, right? I mean, because...
Yeah, I mean, for those guys, that was 3 years ago at this point.
I mean,
that those games came out with sick netcode.
Your structural integrity of this game now is being housed online at most point, because there's, regardless of how many people of us play fighting games competitively, there's going to be those guys that like to play in their underwear and not put on pants or shoes and not leave their house.
Right.
Those are the people that I feel like you have to appease anyway. I mean, don't get me wrong, idiots like us, we're going to buy it anyway. But there's still people out there that play at their house and they need that.
And Street Fighter Cross Tekken should have been a lesson for them, not in their netcode, because the netcode was good, but it should have been a lesson that when you build bad relationships with your users, it's hard to get them back.
Yeah.
Now, fortunately for Street Fighter V, the game is good. The game itself is good. So we're all playing it and we all enjoy it. And so, when Street Fighter Cross Tekken came out at first, nobody liked it because it was Timeout Fest, right? And so that kind of, the DLC and the Timeout Fest kind of killed it. So it didn't succeed as as a product or as a game at first, and it was too late. Street Fighter V, fortunately, is succeeding as a game, but as a product.
Yeah, like it's a double-edged sword. To us, it's a really good game. I could sit there and I play that game. We stream it, we talk about it. But like I said before, the other half of that, and I feel like is actually the majority, is the people that play it at their house.
Yeah,
Sure.
So
way more than us.
I feel like not only is Capcom accountable to us, they're accountable to those people as well. Because, I mean, let's face it. Like I said, it is a subpar product when you take it home.
Yeah, it really is.
Easy.
I mean, so I oftentimes play games while I'm, starting my workday. If I'm working at home, I'm like answering emails or whatever, and I have to wait for people to get back to me. So there's this like period of time where I can't do anything. So what I often do is I just play fighting games during that time. I'm like playing online. Okay, I'll answer an email like while I'm searching for a match or whatever. And so sometimes I'll play whatever, Street Fighter, KI, Pokken, whatever. The Street Fighter experience is like way worse than the others. I can get 3-4 emails done while I'm looking for a match, which is like cool for my usage of it.
It's good for your work.
For my work, that's good, but it's ridiculous that I can get 3-4 emails done. And if for Pokken, I can write two words.
Yeah.
And then I already have another match.
That game finds matches so fast.
It's
I
super
heard
quick.
about it. I haven't played it, but I was watching someone play it, and it was like boom, boom, boom,
No,
boom.
the
And I was like, you
game
have no downtime.
Like, it counts down from 10 seconds to 0, and you almost always have a match before it hits like 5.
See, that's ridiculous.
That's
I mean,
crazy,
I
yeah.
think that's crazy because, like, I play Street Fighter, right? I go home and I'm like, let's play Street Fighter. And then it's legit like, well, I'm one of those people, I like to play. I just want to give me all my matches.
Of course.
And I'm legitimately sitting there for like 10 to 15 minutes.
You
like,
gotta have something else to do. You
Hey,
gotta be
so, like-
playing Hearthstone, or you're in Civ, or something.
The fact that it's like League of Legends, where you're in a queue basically, and you have to kill time,
Yes.
is crazy. Because League of Legends has to find 10 people of
Right.
similar skill levels,
Wow.
and it takes
And
about
it's still-
and it takes about a long like Street. So I had like
Street Fighter
25.
doesn't even find people of equal skill level.
No, that's what I was about to say. The
Yeah.
matchmaking is horrendous. Like, I'm legit. Like, I was like, well, if I just fought like 2 platinum guys, lost 500 points, I'm gonna get that back.
Next
Ultra
guy.
bronze.
Next
What
guy.
the hell is this?
Yeah.
Like, did I lose all? Is that what I lost? The ability to play good players?
I was gonna when I was waiting, I think to like pick him up or something. I had like 25 minutes to spare, and I set a queue, and I didn't get a match before I had to go.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Jesus.
That sucks.
It was over 20 minutes. Because I remember like looking at the clock and being like, all right, it's been 10 minutes and I haven't had it. I just wanted to play Guile. I had not got a chance
Here's
to
one
play
thing
him.
that I'm starting to think that happens though, right? Because I have it set to ask, right?
Yeah, I did
didn't
too.
have it set to ask.
So I have it set to ask. So every time I get a match, it's like, here comes a new challenger, and it lets you push
That's what I do
option.
too.
I didn't even know you
You
could do
hit
that.
start to
And,
accept.
and it shows their connection.
Yeah, it does.
And so pretty much, if I don't have 5 bars, I am kicking you. I just do not play you. So
I have mine set to that.
Yeah, I just do 4 to 5
Right,
bars,
but if
and-
you don't,
Five.
if you don't have a good connection, maybe you're just getting kicked over and over again, and
That's
you don't know.
That's what I was thinking. I was thinking because
Right.
I have mine set to PlayStation 4
Interesting.
only because I don't want to play those people who are botting me. I can't take that. My
He's banned
anger
now.
can't
It's
stomach
like 2
that.
people. Come
Yeah.
on, man.
Okay,
Yeah, I know.
you're saying that? Put like this. Unless I could see him, it's some crazy
He's
stuff
scared.
happening.
Skynet.
Like I'm legit terrified. Like I'm like, this dude is not even moving, but he's beating me. Like what is that? I'm bad, but I'm not that
I would
bad.
want to play against the bot. I think that's kind of fun.
It's fun.
Dude,
yeah.
we did
What
one
the hell is
time.
wrong with y'all? That is not fun. That
It
is
is kinda
terrifying.
fun.
Because
You
it was
think
fun to try to figure
terrifying?
out how to beat it.
If
you
I
know?
stayed with my mom, I would Mom! Like that's exactly what would happen. The equivalent. I'd be like, this guy's cheating. Like that's what would happen.
Yeah, but honestly, I only have it set to ask, and I only play 5 bars. And the thing about, for me, it's okay for me because I love training mode, right? So I can just sit in training mode and do stuff, the same combo 17 times in a row. And in fact, sometimes a match comes on, I'm like,
I
God
wanna
damn it,
finish
like,
that combo.
let me finish trying this test out.
So while we're talking about this, right? Like it is lackluster. The game itself when it comes to abilities by yourself and playing.
Yeah.
One of the things I just feel like it wasn't as fleshed out. So like you can now I think it's really good. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying it's the best or I'm not saying it's the worst. But like I'll go to that option to set up to play, right? And it has ranked match and it has casual match. So you can technically put both of them on and be like, hey, and keep the matches going, which is really cool. One thing that I don't like that they took out from Street Fighter 4 was the fact that you can play different characters. Because what if I want to play casuals with one character and ranked with another?
I was just gonna say that.
Yeah.
I wish you could search ranked with one and casual with another.
Exactly. So it's like it's just small stuff like that. And the more alone time we get with it, we're gonna nitpick and say, well, what about this and what about that? But the fact is, that's a blaring problem. Like you're like,
yeah, a lot of people want character select.
Yeah.
But it takes so long to find a match and get into a match and load and all that. That's like
The loading is so long.
Yeah, that extra time, dude, it's crazy. Especially since I play on PC.
Yeah, me too.
So when I play KI on PC, it's so fast.
Yeah, you're just in there.
Yeah, you remember we were playing KI, and it would load so fast that the loading screen would still be on the screen when the match came up.
Yeah.
So it was actually impacting our match how
Yeah,
fast
true.
it was loading.
Technology.
So we had to let like the intro play a little bit and then play.
Yeah. Never been a problem
In
for
Street Fighter 5. No, I don't think it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, look, the game, I mean, I just wish at some point, like, if the CEO is going to admit that, then take the funds, hire somebody to just go, look, here's the problems that you need to fix right now. And if they're small or big or whatever, like, please fix the button config.
Right.
Please let second player choose character
God,
select.
please. That is like my biggest. I can't believe that hasn't
know,
been fixed.
like-
I thought that like first patch that was gonna be.
Yeah, like
It's the
little-
only game I can even think of that has had it like that.
Yeah,
Ever.
It's terrible.
Since like 1992.
And it was designed specifically
Seriously.
to be like tournament.
Right.
Like, they're like, this
Yeah.
game has tournament play in mind. I'm like, I don't think so.
You know what the hardest part is, though, is that when you're developing stuff like that and you're like, oh, we'll fix this later, sometimes you get used to it and you forget. I've seen this happen a million
and
times.
that's
Okay,
what's
it's
crazy
not
to me.
excusable.
I'm
It's
just saying,
not
I
excusable.
even
at, like-
ever seen a game do that ever.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. Even at like events, people are like, why can't I pause it and go to character select as player
Right.
2? Like, and they're just like, oh,
I just
yeah,
think that's
it's-
ridiculous. Like I didn't understand how because
So stupid.
it didn't hit me until I went somewhere else and played, and I was like, because normally I'm player 1 and other people play, so I'm just going to say. And I went over somebody's house and I played. I'm like, why can't I go to character select? And then it hit me. I'm like, oh my god, this is as bad as they said it is.
Or even
you
like
know?
when you want
Yeah.
to change character as player 2 and then player 1 hits rematch and you're like, oh, I wanted to change character. Like in Street Fighter 4, you just like go down and hit character select and it's like, oh,
that's
fine.
something I don't
In
know how
every
you.
other game.
In every
Dude,
other
and
game
not
ever.
only
Yeah.
that, but then you play Skullgirls, and if you unplug your controller, it shoots you all the way back, like automatically detects that you unplugged the controller. So to like automatically jump you out of that screen and go to like character select
Yeah,
and
that's
stuff
right.
like that.
Yeah,
Dude.
tournament mode.
I don't know, man. And Mike Z has said that like there's issues with even the legacy where it's like the legacy is not supposed to work like that.
Mhm.
And when the Guilty Gear demo came out and it's plug and play even with the legacy, that's ridiculous to me because it's like you're playing with a TE1 and it's just like plug and play, bam,
Yeah.
there it is, and I'm like,
Demo.
that's
Or
a
even-
demo.
It's a demo.
Somebody call Capcom because this is a demo.
Or
Like-
even the fact that Legacy, we found out now, has 1 frame less lag than default.
Whatever.
But Legacy drops inputs.
right.
Right.
So, like-
and it's just annoying for tournaments,
Dude,
right?
if your controller that it's attached to comes on, like, you know, you don't play on it for like 20 minutes.
yeah,
it just
yeah,
dies.
Yeah,
It'll go
Yeah,
to
then
sleep.
your stick dies.
Right.
Yeah,
which has
I
happened
mean,
to me.
there-
Your controller goes to sleep.
There's
Right.
actually a setting that you can set it so
You can
it
cheat.
doesn't go to sleep,
Oh, okay.
but
But if it runs out of batteries, or
right.
something, like,
And the
who
thing
knows?
is, the only way to have batteries is to have it plugged into the console, which you're not gonna do because the joysticks are
They're
plugged,
plugged
into
into the
there.
console,
So
yes.
you're gonna have like 700 of these controllers on the side because they're just gonna keep running out of batteries. So
I don't know. I mean, look, I feel like there are a couple things. One is maybe Capcom just doesn't have money. I don't know. I mean, I know that
Yeah.
they had problems. Like they talked about it last year.
Right,
Like, they were
right.
having financial issues, but maybe it was even worse than I had realized. I don't know. If they really had one person making the online, or even if it was just CFN,
Yeah. That's crazy.
That is a bad look. And if it's probably not just that. If it is that, it's probably also the disconnect between Capcom Japan and Capcom USA.
yeah.
That's true.
Because I know that is really big, and it's not just. It comes up in marketing sometimes. Like Capcom USA totally had a trailer to show at a tournament, and Capcom Japan was like, "You guys can't show it at that tournament." And
That's
so
stupid.
so that comes up. But when it comes to the actual game design, there's probably other things
There's
that are
a lot
like
of things
that are like that.
That we don't hear about.
That we don't hear about.
Yeah,
It's-
yeah, for
like
sure.
Capcom Japan, you know, who knows which side it is, but I would definitely bet on Japan.
Yeah.
They're the side that put in the one-player thing, and
I could totally see Capcom USA is like,
yeah,
come on.
Commonwealth and like everybody there is like, what are you guys doing?
Yeah.
Like this is gonna be changed, right? And
Yeah.
they're like, and then they have to talk about finances do we have enough money to fix this, or
Right.
do you want to fix the other thing? And it's got to be like one or the other.
That's always the thing. That's always the biggest problem is what's the big priority. And if you cannot, because the thing is, every feature costs amount of time. And it costs some people. Again, this is just software development here. So when you have a list of 70 features that you need to fix and tweak, or new characters to come out with or whatever, you're going to focus all of your resources on the one that is most impactful. You have to prioritize it, right?
Well,
so this 1-player, 2-player thing, it works.
Yeah, like
So
it sucks, but it's not.
But it works, and so unfortunately it gets put at the end of the list. You know what I mean? Which is why I'm saying they need to hire one guy to just sit there and fix all those small things and be separate, like kind of like
They barely could afford one guy before though.
Yeah, like the
to
swing
do like
man.
all that stuff. So like they might not be able to afford having one guy do all this, especially since the game didn't sell super well.
And that's what I was just about to say, actually.
Like, yeah,
bleeding
it doesn't
over
help.
into the sales, right?
Yeah.
So Capcom is a company that needs to make money, regardless of how it works.
Of course.
And apparently the figures came out that it sold less than Pokken. As a ridiculous.
Duh.
I was about to say, like,
Definitely
for people
duh.
who think that that's crazy, you're stupid.
Like,
I'm
so-
sorry, I don't know. It's like if someone was selling air, and they're like, "Did you hear water sold more than air?" I'm like, "Well, I mean, we need the air."
Yeah.
You know? So-
The month it came out, they're like, yeah, Naruto on PS4 sold more than Street Fighter all together, and I was like, duh, it's
Yeah.
Naruto. Like, oh yeah,
You know
Call
what
of Duty
it is?
sold more
The
than Street
people-
Fighter.
the
Street
people-
Fighter's dead. It's like, yeah, for sure, Call of Duty is
The people
nothing.
who are
Yeah.
surprised that Pokken outsold Street Fighter are seriously the people who think
don't know
the
who
Wii
killed
U
Poken's
sucks.
dad, right?
Yeah,
They're the same
exactly.
people.
Yeah, uh-huh.
It's
The same
They
people.
They were the ones who killed Poken's dad. We found out the answer.
Poken's now?
But now it's
Poken's
Poken's
dad.
dad.
Yeah,
Poken's
exactly.
dad.
That's the one who killed Poken's
Are
dad.
they brothers? Pokken?
The plot thickens?
So it's Pokemon, and Pokemon?
Are the three brothers?
That's
No.
This
The
is a
dad-
legacy.
The dad is Pokemon, and the mom is Pokemon.
Oh my
Right, so
god,
there you go.
James has got it all figured out.
Oh,
There
man.
you go.
No, but like, yeah, is it really that surprising that those games all sold more? Duh.
Yeah.
It's
You're
like
a bad
super
person,
obvious.
James. That's right.
For sure. But because it didn't sell as much, not only did it sell less than those things, but it sold less than they projected.
Right.
Yeah,
Exactly,
So I mean,
yeah.
so that's really the problem. If
It
it had sold how many they had projected, even if it sells less than those other games, like you can
Right,
deal with
right.
that.
Right.
So,
But-
and here's another problem too, is that the Japanese. I mean, look, I know Capcom USA is picturing us as a long-term thing, right? But Japan just never functioned that way. They focus so heavily on initial sales, and that's a problem. That's why Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom development team just was completely dismantled.
Yeah,
after
the
game
right
came
away.
out.
Yeah.
Because
yeah.
when it came out, it didn't make any money because. Hey, the sequel was released less than a year after the first game.
That was
right?
crazy.
So a lot of people were like, "You really doing this to us, Capcom?" So they didn't buy it. But it actually turned out to be a really long-lasting game. Like it was. I heard that the sales of that game
Yeah.
lasted very
And-
long
and the-
because it was so
yeah.
hype at tournaments. You know.
Well, and it also, like I said, same thing applies. That also does not count the digital sales as well. So we don't even have those numbers from digital sales as well. Will it go up? Who knows? I don't know how the MPD how that affects the physical copy sales. I don't know,
Right.
but I know that those numbers aren't counted for in the regular sales numbers. So I mean, you never know. We might have 1 billion people that downloaded Street Fighter V. Might be unlikely, but the fact of the matter is we do not know.
Right.
So. I mean, for me, that's basically it. We don't know everything. We don't know what they expect besides for initial sales and hard disk sales. That doesn't include digital. And we
Right.
don't know what their long-term, month-to-month, whatever the case may be.
Part of me thinks it's kind of silly to talk about it this much because there are just a bunch of good games now, and we don't need to be playing Street Fighter. I really like Street Fighter V. I really like my friends at Capcom, but I really like Pokken and Killer Instinct. And I don't play Gear, but it looks awesome, and I really respect that game.
Yeah.
It's Tekken. Like, there's a bunch of alternatives. The Smash games. There's a bunch of alternatives that we could be playing. We don't need Street Fighter. That's what it is.
You know
so
what?
if Street Fighter wants to screw up, there's actually a consequence, I feel.
Yeah.
You know, this happened 6 or 7 years ago. Maybe even more. So, me being the resident Madden player, this kind of happened, right? Madden came out year after year. didn't give you anything new. This is a real thing. Didn't give you anything new.
Yeah, it's just
and
updated rosters.
It's just updated rosters.
Right.
But Sega bought the NFL license, right? And they said, hey, we're going to make our game. And each year they gave you these crazy options. So they gave you real fatigue, and then they gave you the legacy mode, and then they gave you the super in-depth graphical upgrade, and then they still give you system changes as well. And each year they're trying to do better and better.
Right.
And Madden, even though they're selling 1 billion copies every year, they start to see that shift where this is like, hey, these guys are putting out a superior product.
Right.
We have to step it up. And it came to where the 2K games started outselling Madden.
Yeah. Like NBA 2K is like when you play
It's
basketball,
the better game.
You want that one.
Live does not. NBA Live does not exist anymore because of that. They go from they went from every year to every other year now, and some of those games aren't even released on a disc.
Right.
They're download only. So that can be a thing. I mean, now that you say that, I just thought about it. That could actually be a thing. And the only thing that happened, EA ended up buying the NFL license. That's the only reason there's no other NFL games. So it actually just put them out of business. Now, apparently it's supposed to run out pretty soon, but a lot of these companies, they're not going to try to go back into that space and try to start all over again. Henceforth, Madden is the game, football game that you play. So that...
In the fighting games, that's just not the case right now.
It's not, but like you said, it's a lot of good games out there.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, I think if this game was non-Street Fighter, it would be doing terrible.
Oh, it
And
would.
no one would play it or care. They'd be like, oh, the gameplay's fun, but you know, it's whatever. Even if it has David and James as the inner announcers or whatever, it's a really fun game, Yatagarasu, but no one's gonna play it. It's the same thing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
what
if
if
this was
Persona
not-
had come out and then had no first player mode, and it was that game would have sold 10 copies.
Yeah. This version of the game, if it was called like anything else and had the same gameplay, it would be no one would care.
So there's definitely a reprieve for Street Fighter because of that. But if they don't fix all these other things, and meanwhile sick games keep coming out, it's not going to be a long-term project.
That's the interesting part to me is if they actually got someone to concentrate on the small things, like that would actually be such a stronger sign of support from them than just releasing the DLC characters one by one, because like we are expecting those characters. But if we all of a sudden saw in this next patch, second player can choose character select, all of a sudden the button config has changed, we'd just be like, oh sick, they're looking at all these things. All of a sudden Birdie's chain doesn't go through his neck.
That would be great.
You know,
well, and that's
Ken's
why
hair doesn't poke out of his clavicle.
There's a
He has
lot
a
of
new face.
there's a lot of active arrangement from these other companies now that you say that. I mean, look at Access with Guilty Gear in the demo and making sure that not only Japan gets to play it, but the entire world gets to play it if you reserve the game. We know you're going to buy the game, so here's the game that you're going to pay for. I mean,
The demo is so good.
It's so look at what Tekken is
You know
doing.
what?
Even though it's not available, you can go to these events and play it. One, two, they're making it accessible and they're keeping you updated on these things.
On the topic of them changing stuff, people have been complaining about all this stuff from Capcom. There was such an uproar about the Enders in KI.
Yeah.
They
That's
patched
right.
the next patch. It was fixed. They're like, you can toggle it on or off whether you want to or not. Like, it's in the game.
level 4 enders,
That fast.
Yeah.
And
That quick.
And worst of all, don't get me wrong, NetherRealm, you still are on my shit list for this, but at least they go in and they patch their games. Like, no matter how bad it is, if I can see Boone at a tournament and he's like, well, this is ridiculous, we're going to fix this. I respect that because he knows that that's stupid. So as much as anybody can say about NetherRealm and the way they're doing their games, you know Ed Boon cares. And with the Capcom thing, you know what I mean? Like, with the Capcom thing, them coming out and saying this is a step in the right direction.
Oh yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah,
I think it's a step in the right direction. Infel says that based on tournament entries so far, it doesn't seem like it's the case that Street Fighter could die and it's like no big deal.
Oh no, it's not going to.
So
at
it's
all.
not gonna.
Yeah.
But you're right that it's not gonna just because it's Street Fighter. So if they keep screwing up over time,
It'll decrease.
it's gonna decrease.
Yeah, it's on an upswing right now.
Yeah.
But I'm curious in a year or 2 or 3 how people feel if it didn't change. I have a feeling Capcom
I mean,
will.
the hardest
on
part about it, honestly,
I hope so.
is that the gameplay is actually really good. It is really solid.
game's fun.
Right.
It's
And
no
so-
But there's other games with great gameplay
There
too.
sure are.
yeah.
There sure are.
Yeah.
And for the FGC, it's not a make or break game.
Right.
Like we've learned that. Like the fact that this is something that Mike Ross was talking about with us, which is a fascinating point, which is that it's in a way almost a blessing in disguise that the game sold so terribly because The fact that there are still huge tournaments, 4,000 people are still playing it at EVO. We're getting more people watching and entering and going to tournaments, even though the game sold terribly, and even though it's garbage outside of the gameplay itself, and even though a lot of people are mad. So that's like a proof of the FGC's staying power, and the fact that we're not like a one game thing.
Right.
We're gonna be fine if Street Fighter isn't even here. It's not so.
And not even just that,
Anyway.
but we're actually driving the popularity of Street Fighter.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
FGC is
That
driving
commercial is FGC. I mean,
uh-huh.
that's 95%
But like-
FGC.
The best promotion for the game right now is tournaments.
Yeah, because
There's
look,
nothing else
they
is
got
even close.
1.4 million sales. They projected 2 million,
Mm.
right, for by the end of the fiscal year. Now, here's the funny thing: when it first started out, no one probably even thought it was even going to get to that, especially based on the reviews that it got and all the bad press it got. But the fact that it made it to 1.4, I think, really just comes down to the fighting game community and how powerful we are. So,
Well, I don't know
guys,
that I
put
want to
money
take.
into the fighting game community.
I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not
Yeah.
sure that we can take responsibility for the sales so far, but I think the better point, at least for us, is that the sales of one game aren't make or break for a community.
Yeah.
We're doing all right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway.
Until Riot makes their game and we're all controlled by them.
And then we are out of
we're
here
done. That's that. This show would get canned so fast.
instantly.
I'd be like, I sort of didn't like the changes in the last patch, and an axe would come flying into the face. Done. Riot
Guys kicking the door. Please, somebody move!
Riot would assassinate me on the spot. It would be so fast, and they'd have another generic white guy with a beard to replace me that quick.
Dude, they have a
Like
they
a-
have a
they have
whole
a million-
storeroom with
Oh,
those
wow.
dudes. Are you
Dude,
serious?
they have like
Have you seen their casters? Oh my god,
they're
they
like
look
me, but
just like
prettier.
us.
Yeah, they look.
We're identical people. I'm telling you. You can't tell.
They're like
Best
us,
part
but
about it is,
prettier
like,
and
Yeah,
tamer.
definitely.
We're like
Way
joking
tamer.
about Riot coming and killing it. They're literally down the street.
They
are.
They
That's
can
the
come
scary
and
part.
kill
Every
us
time we leave,
so
they
fast.
come and collect the microphones that they have placed
Yeah,
around the studio just to see what we were talking about in the downtime.
Look, they actually did just ban a famous commentator who owned a team. Okay, so this is the whole story.
Monty, yeah.
Yeah, so there's a famous commentator, caster, who went into the team owning business, and they banned him, and they banned his team, and they're like, you got to sell off your team in 10 days, you're out of here.
Yeah. That's
And
a real
he
thing.
is a famous commentator, and they are. Who cares?
Yep.
Who cares?
One
And,
day.
and what was it for? Can we say what was it for?
Oh yeah,
yeah.
they said in the ruling, they like
There's a bunch of
they
allegations.
allege
and-
that there's some like mingling of finances with other teams, which is against the rules,
okay.
which I can
Oh, yeah.
guarantee you
Because
is
the names
inaccurate.
are backwards. Have they been backwards this whole entire time?
Oh,
I don't know.
You guys, switch where you're sitting. So
Was it? Was
I thought that this-
Steve always here?
Oh, I was sitting here
Last week, this is where I was.
So we have the Twitter names backwards.
Either way, follow both of them.
yeah, that dude can still commentate. So
he can, but he can't own a team for like.
hey man,
Well, obviously,
we're gonna destroy your investment, and you gotta get out of there. But yeah,
can
you
still
can hang
commentate.
around. It's all right. Yeah, but hey, it's all good, man. You know what's funny too is in the ruling they actually say so. His name's Christopher, but he commentates as Monte Cristo.
Yeah.
They're like, yeah, so Christopher can't own a team anymore, but Monte Cristo can still commentate.
It's like super funny that
like
we're-
it's two different
Like he's
people.
like he's a split personality.
Yeah, it was super weird.
he
When I was
puts on a
reading it-
hat. I'm Monte Cristo.
Yeah,
Take it off.
when he
I'm
has the tie,
Christopher.
as soon as
Hey,
he ties
guys.
the tie and gets on camera, he becomes a new person.
They're like cursing at him
Look.
around the office. You son of a bitch! You throw us under. Oh, it's Monte Cristo. Sorry.
It's Monte
Yeah, he like points to the tie. Hey man,
It's me.
it's
Look,
me.
dude,
Yeah.
we're on the clock right now. Sorry, I thought you were that one guy. You here with that
It's
son
like-
of a bitch, kid?
It's
Like-
like, it's like when Superman puts on the glasses and you're like, I'm Clark Kent, but he's wearing the Superman outfit still. You're like, so when they make their game and we are all become casters, this show will be super neutered. You'll
Yeah,
never
yeah.
hear us say mean things again, or the axe will come flying in, and
Yeah.
it'll suck.
It's
I'm not
gonna be
looking
a
forward to
weird
any of
life.
that. The game's gonna be great. See you guys then.
Yeah.
Capcom is sending their employees, but they're so far
Right
away
now, they're
they'll
like,
never make it.
they're just waiting. They're like, as soon as they come out of here, we are taking them down.
They say-
Hard. Shoot to kill. 8 frames a lag. Put it on.
They're
Hopefully
tuning.
you can run away. Right?
Yeah, they're tuning.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Anyway, all right. So
They send Combo Fiend. He's just coming down here all huge and
man.
everything. We'd be done.
Oh.
That would be so
Oh,
good.
Combo Fiend would kill
No,
us so
you guys
fast.
would be done.
Yeah.
Steve would be okay.
I was gonna say,
Yeah, this is
It'll be a
maybe-
fight. It'll be
maybe
like the
Rock.
Hulk versus Iron Man fight in Age of Ultron. I'm like, I'm sorry.
I picture it being like Zangief versus like some more mobile character.
He's
like,
too big.
I feel like he probably
He wouldn't make it
is
through
not
that
fast.
doorway.
He's nowhere near as fast as me. It's not possible.
I'm not the fastest guy, but I feel like I'd be alright.
I think so. That doorway is too big or too small for him. There's no way he could fit his arms.
Damn,
he
It's a natural barrier.
I'm here in the name of Capcom. Nobody move. He just picks you up. Oh God! But you know who's dead though?
Wow. Dang.
Hey,
You're saying he has neither speed nor strength?
I just spent that whole entire time fixing the names.
Oh, he did.
I fixed the names, and this is how I get repaid?
Look, I'm just giving you facts.
Look, that's why you have me on the team, so when the zombie apocalypse breaks out, I'm the one that gets eaten and distracts all the zombies.
This is
I
true.
appreciate it, James.
That's
Thanks.
like you're part of that.
That's an important role.
Hey man, the Asian guy on Walking Dead is still alive, okay?
Or is he? I don't know if you guys seen that last season.
Oh.
Who knows? Who knows? Anyways.
All right, what were we
I don't
talking
know anything
about?
about it. All right, is that it for this topic?
Yes.
All right, probably is. Yeah.
You want to take a break?
Let's take a break. Let's briefly cover event results when we come back.
All right.
8 frames of ads.
All right. Well, thanks for coming back. And nothing. It's no big deal. All right. So events.
Event results. Yes, that's right. There
What's
were
going on,
3
James?
events this weekend. The Kakutop League, Canada Cup, and BAM Battle Arena Melbourne. Which one do you want to do first?
Let's do BAM.
BAM?
Because
BAM.
according to time zones, it was the first.
Okay, sure. Okay. BAM! Battle Arena Melbourne 8 was the second of 14 qualifier events for Capcom Pro Tour Asia. Took place this weekend. A lot of strong Japanese players were there. Really good play. So let's go over the results here. Let's do top 8. Tied in 7th place was a Wild Llama with M. Bison.
Genius.
And BK Sama with Dulcim. Tied for 5th place was Falco with Chun-Li. Also Dailo with Ken. 4th was Razor Sien with Fang.
I don't like the name as much. Not as good.
Yeah, that was good. He got sent to losers pretty early, right? Like pools or something like that.
3rd place was Mago with Karen.
Okay.
2nd place, E.G. Momochi with Ken. And 1st place, MJS Haitani with Nakali.
So Momochi reset
Yes.
and then lost to Haitani, who is ridiculous.
Yeah, I was going to ask what you think about him. I didn't get to watch all of this, but when I did see him play, I thought he was looking super strong.
Yep.
A lot of the like back when it was final round where Tokido like barely beat him in that like super close set. At the time, all the Japanese players said like he was the best in Japan, Haitani, and like no one could beat him, including Tokido. Tokido was like, yeah, I got lucky. So it still seems like that's like he's definitely one of the strongest players in Japan.
But it's cool because it's nice to see that. I mean, and he plays it completely different too. Momochi's Ken.
Yeah.
I really like.
He
seeing
does
that
some of the
Momochi's-
run stuff though. He it's not like he doesn't do any of the run.
Yeah.
And,
But he is not nearly as aggressive.
Yeah, he's
like
much more mid-range.
I've always said, like
I think this is a
Christy
better
and-
long-term style.
Yeah, Christy and Julio are very aggressive, right? And then I said Brent is just kind of like right behind them.
Yeah.
Then I would say Cyanide is behind them. But now Momochi's even way further. He's playing like some super
Yeah,
careful
he's
Ken.
playing like
It was
really,
really
yeah.
interesting.
But that's like the long-term stuff. I think like the
Probably.
jab into run is not gonna
Yeah.
last for.
Oh no way! That's a
If
that's
they
a
patch out-
shot in the
if
dark
they-
mind
If they
mind
patch
fudge.
out the lag, it won't be.
Even with lags, jab into run is not living for. Like a lot of people are starting to be way more consistent about stopping that stuff.
There's a lot of
Yeah,
tactics
for sure.
that we know. This is natural like progression. These are one of those things. They last for a tournament or two, and then you're gonna look at a weekly, and everybody's gonna be stopping it. That's how the
Well,
So
I mean,
it goes.
this is why all the Ken players. What you're saying is basically why the Ken players say that Ken is not top 5, despite his recent.
I still think
success.
he's really good.
I was going to say, I
Yeah,
still think
yeah.
even in that style, I think he's super
Dude,
strong.
I'm just gonna say the same joke again, right? Every character is 6th or 7th best in this game,
Yeah.
right? It's seriously, it's like Chun-Li and Ryu are 1 and 2. like Fang and Zangief are at the bottom, and then just everybody else is like.
Man, I saw Sonic Fox Fang.
That guy is out of
Did you see
I
that
believe
set?
that character.
I told you.
Sonic Fox
I'm telling you guys, man.
Like Sonic Fox was like saying, he's like, yeah, in the corner I do this knockdown, I do this, and then I do this setup, and if you quick rise, you gotta eat this, and if you delay rise, then you messed up, because I'm gonna hit this, this, and this, and I was like, this kid's the best.
Yeah,
he is so
he's
great.
the best, for
And
sure.
then, like, so he's one of those people that, like, you know those people who are like, you better not delay tech on me, man, I'll get you, and then, like, they suck. He is not that guy. He is actually, like, super, super good at fighting games, but is super technical,
That
which
character's
is
made for him.
That
character was
think
made
about
for
it like this.
Oh,
Did
so
you guys
good.
see that tech video for like the back throw setup? I saw that and I was like, it's starting.
I didn't see this one.
Yeah,
Oh, man.
Mono put it up.
I was like,
Yeah,
it's
it's
starting.
good
stuff.
And
It's really good.
when it comes down to it, I'm telling you right now, this is what I've said is coming to fruition right now. Once we see, I cannot wait to see Sonic Fox at a major competition.
He's already made top 8 at
Top
it.
eight.
Yeah.
I mean,
That was
even more
early
so.
when
But
people
that was
didn't know, but now I want to see him now because everyone's like, that was early. Sonic Fox is a fluke. Like, I want to see him go to an event and just like kill everybody now.
I wish I could eye roll harder.
Yeah,
at
you
that.
have to be
Yeah.
actually an idiot to think that he's not.
It's
a
true.
It's the
real
only
life,
way. It's the
a
only way.
bona fide idiot.
But
Yeah.
No, you have to be a moron.
on the same topic, I just want to say that not Fang, but Zangief, Kentaro. Did you watch that video?
That guy is crazy,
That
man.
made me believe
I
in
like
Zangief.
I like
Like
it.
I didn't still believe
Zangief.
in Zangief. I was like, this guy's
I-
very good, is what I thought.
No, I believe in Zangief.
This human's
now.
very good.
Yeah,
like,
I was
this-
like,
he
I was
was
like,
in-
he's very
This
talented.
mortal has great control.
Yeah.
He was winning in ways, and he was winning with tools that no other Zangief does. And I still felt like he was missing a couple of things, so I just feel like he has the potential just to become ridiculous.
I think he's not going to be ridiculous, but he's
I
all
still
right.
think that
he's
guy
gonna
is
be
good.
I just,
Well, I meant like Kentaro using
Oh, yeah.
Zangief.
Oh,
he's
It's
super
Kentaro's good.
ridiculous. Yeah.
I mean, there's nothing. It's no different than Sonic Fox playing with Fang. If you take a good player, no matter what the game is, no matter how good he is,
Yeah, I hear you.
and let him play, he's going to make. Like I respect that so much more. That's just my personal opinion. When somebody's like, I'm running with this, and they're like, but you can do so much more, blah blah blah, so and so. You're like, I don't care. That's my game. I'm running it.
Man, as a lifelong Q user, if I could go back to 2002 and say, David, don't do it. Yeah. Yeah, definitely I would pick up Chun-Li. So even though I think Fang is probably pretty good, I still don't really like Xian playing Fang. I still think just Xian's style, obviously he's very strong with the character. He got 4th in a tournament of a bunch of killers.
Right.
And he's done really well in the past.
I
He
don't like
is
it either.
super good. I just feel like he would be better if he played like
Look, I'm just gonna.
Vega.
But
or-
that's what they said about
I
You know what I'm
Gin.
actually
gonna
wish
say?
you would play
That's what
Vega.
they
You know
said
what I
about
said?
Gin though when he played Gin.
Right.
His Gin, I think is made for him.
But
Good,
see,
good
here's the thing.
footsies, technical
Like
character.
honestly, I think that Xian could fund his entire esports career and be a billionaire if he got paid a penny every time someone personally walked up to him and went, "Why aren't you using Dulcim?"
Yeah.
Because
I
like
want him
that's
to play
what
Vega.
everybody has
Vega.
asked him.
I want him to play Vega. The stance character with cheaps, like, he actually has really good
That would be
setup,
beautiful.
Great
I won't
normals.
disagree.
The walk speed is
and
crazy.
it's still a character that is not overly used, which I think he really
It's really
cares about.
important.
Yeah, that's true.
I
too.
think Vega for him is so perfect.
Huh.
It's-
I didn't think of that.
That's what I
actually.
think.
That's actually
Stan's character with really, like, he just hits a little medium punch. It's like the same character almost. You don't have to do
Yeah.
hands after
The-
either,
the
and it's
more
fine.
that
It's
you're
less
saying this,
execution.
it makes more sense.
Yeah,
Walk around,
once,
hit crouch,
once you
medium
said
roll.
like the stance character they can cancel, I just picture him doing like some of the dumbest stuff in the world. I'm like,
That character is really technical too, I think, which is important.
Who got top 4 in Dead or Alive?
It's 4th place was Tones with Lisa and Brad Wong. 3rd place was RGB with Ayane. 2nd place Toko with Hitomi. 1st place Ibabble with Kasumi.
Congrats.
Top 4 in MKX was Castiel with Melina, Sonya Blade, and Johnny Cage. They don't have variations
Oh, okay.
listed.
Okay.
IFAT Gigabags, or Gilbags, sorry, with
Alright.
Sub-Zero in 3rd. 2nd place was Wazminator with Devora, and 1st place was Googie with Takeda.
I thought that I thought that's a diva. Instead
Oh,
of Deborah,
yeah.
man,
Oh.
if this game can't
Diva,
come soon
oh, I
enough,
see,
I was
yeah,
like,
yeah,
man.
Overwatch, yeah.
T7.
Tekken 7, 4th place was Dion with Shaheen, Jack 7, and Kazumi.
Oh wow.
3rd place was Go Back Chand New York with Dragunov. 2nd place was Sukebe with Lily, and 1st place was Marimo Huarang with Huarang.
Dude, that's crazy because Hornrock is not considered really strong.
Oh, really?
Tekken
Okay.
7 is not good.
You saw what Lily was doing in Tekken 7. Like, that game is made for some of the stuff that she can do.
Lily
and
is-
the fact
Lily
that
is cheap in that
second,
game.
and then even a Dragunov.
Oh, really?
That character's really
Even
good
Dragunov's
too.
not that
Dragunov's
Dragunov's
good.
not. It's not that he's not that good, but he's a harder character to use.
Oh, okay, yeah.
You want Evo?
I didn't know some of these Smash players made it out here. So Smash 4, top 4 was Umeki
wow, you're right.
with Peach. Third place was 9B with Bayonetta. Second place was Abadango with
That's
Mewtwo and Diddy Kong. And first place was LLL's Mr. R with Sheik.
Yeah, I didn't know you
World
went.
Traveler
Yeah, I
recently.
know.
Yeah, that's crazy.
'Cause he was there with us in Kuwait and everything.
Yeah.
We actually got to hang out with Mr. R a bunch. In Melee, fourth place, not Wobbles, but Wibbles with Ice Climbers. Third place was SD with Fox. Second place, Sin Spud with Marth and Captain Falcon. First place, SA Nick with Marth.
Okay.
Cool. So that was BAM.
All right, let's move on.
Battle Arena Melbourne. Nice.
Good job to Australia.
Yep. Kakutop League, which
Oh,
is
this is cool.
Ken Bogard's little tournament here where he just gets people all over Europe to play each other in a league, like Topanga style. This is the 4th week, I believe, that they've done this now. Or oh no, it's just Kakutop 4, right?
Yeah, I think
It's
so.
the 4th year that they've done this.
I don't know if it's yearly. I think it might be like twice yearly or whatever.
Okay,
But in any
okay.
case, it's the 4th time they've done it.
Okay, well, they just completed their final stages, their final stage, and basically 5th place went to PXP Problem X with M. Bison and Alex. 4th place went to YP Valmaster with Chun-Li and Nikali. He started with Nikali, but he's finally switched over to Chun-Li, and people said he looks really natural.
I don't
with
know
it
why
now.
he wouldn't play that character.
I didn't get to see any of Kakutop.
So I heard that he played Chun when the game first came out, but he just didn't feel like he clicked with her.
Oh,
So he
okay.
went to Nikali for a bit, but now he's moving back to
Okay.
Chun.
3rd place was Alioun with Chun-Li. 2nd place, BX3 Phenom with M. Bison and Nikali. And 1st place, who apparently dunked everybody,
He dunked
Dunked.
everybody. It was so bad.
Luffy with R. Mika.
It was crazy.
And this is round robin style.
It's
just
round
for
robin.
FYI, just so you guys know.
So this is top 5, so you're playing against 4 other people,
Best of 5.
best
too.
of 5,
Right.
which
Oh,
means...
it was first to 5.
I'm sorry, first to 5, yeah.
Yeah.
Which means there's a maximum of plus 20, right? If I'm doing that math right. 5 games, 4 people. He got plus 17.
I think his record is 20-3. is what it
There
was.
you go. 20 and 3.
He hit everybody with the.
Oh, everybody got clapped
took it
up?
for a ride.
Everybody got clapped
So
up.
for the people
Done.
who saw it, like, I mean, a lot of people say Armika's random and crazy and whatever. Like, did it feel that way, or was Luffy playing
He's
much
just a
more-
really good player.
Right.
He would consistently have better spacing. Like, he had great mix-ups on the way in. He had some good tech. His Nadeshkos were looking way better than when we saw him at Red Bull Kumite. Like, he just has really stepped up. Even since when was it, 2-3 weeks ago?
Yeah,
3 weeks ago?
That's only a couple weeks.
He
ago.
is so much better now than how he played that day.
Right.
Yeah.
And again, like, I know we've said this a million times, but just to reiterate, just you're good at Street Fighter 4. No shock, you're good at Street Fighter 5.
What could he do
think
without
so?
invincible backdash
I
and
know,
orbs? He'll
right?
never win.
Well, you know,
Done.
he played KOF too, and once I remembered that, I felt like the Mika pick was a little bit more natural. I feel like that made it a little bit more sense.
His Mika looks great.
Yeah, his Mika does look really good. I stole a few things from him.
2 Bisons in the top 5 there,
I think that's
including second place overall, 3-1.
Mm-hmm.
Phenom.
Yeah. So,
Problem X got ripped.
dude, that
Yeah, that was
video,
rough.
that video that came out with Bison pairing everything was so sick.
That's cool.
That's really cool because, like, if you really start getting gutsy, I feel like Bison can do really well because it's not just that you're absorbing the move, but you're shooting fireballs back at him.
And you can juggle scissors.
Yeah, but I mean, it's just
There's
a
a couple of things like every time you see Moonsault, you just
right,
wax
yeah,
on
yeah,
and it's
yeah.
like done.
Oh,
It's really-
it's
like-
funny because even in that video they showed when Mika charged a roundhouse, he absorbed it and hit her back with the fireball. You don't even have to do that. You can just absorb it and then combo her.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So. Okay.
All right. That was a really cool tournament to watch. I watched a bunch of it. It was
Sad I
awesome.
didn't
was
get to
sick.
see any of it.
Yeah,
I
Luffy
saw
Mika
bits and
is
pieces.
great.
I saw bits and pieces.
Mhm.
I saw the interview after with Alioun when they were talking. So it was
Oh, yeah.
it was a nice event. It was a
Man,
nice event.
Alioun was not on maximum Alioun form.
Nope.
Like, he was definitely tournament Alioun, which is not
Good.
maximum Alioun.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Right. He's
Too bad.
basically. I mean, I don't want to call him this, but he's kind
Oh,
of like
he is.
You're
I
gonna
know.
call it, yeah, exactly where this
He's
is going.
Europe's Flow, basically, is what it is.
Flow is amazing. His Vega's
Yeah.
crazy good.
Dude, his
He is
everything
absurd.
is very good. His everything's very good.
Karen and Vega.
Then
are
you go into
crazy.
tournaments, and then Flow just cracks, right? So.
He doesn't even play.
Yeah, now not anymore. Yeah, for sure.
He has his own show on Tuesdays, man. That's all it is.
Yeah, he does. He does. I'm glad that they let Mike on there sometimes.
Me too. Canada Cup,
What's
Vancouver.
going on in
Let's
Canada?
call it Capcom Flow Talk, dude.
Yeah.
Capcom Flow Talk.
Canada Cup, Vancouver series. So this is not the official Canada Cup. That will be later on this year, right before Halloween.
Mm-hmm.
But and that will be a premiere event. However, Canada Cup Vancouver series, I want to say people in chat can confirm this. Like when I watched it on stream, it looked like it was taking place at a bar or a restaurant or something. And I want to feel like that was like Air's venue, because Air owns like a sushi restaurant. I heard he's like trying to open up gaming centers in there and stuff like that. So if anyone on stream could confirm it. But this was just a smaller tournament in Canada run by the Canada Cup team.
Okay.
And the results that we have here in Street Fighter V, tied for 7th place, it was UA's Noel Brown with Vega and Air with Ryu. 5th place was Lushi with Chun-Li, and 12M Raisida with Chun-Li as well. 4th place, Beiruti with Rashid.
Nice.
Oh, sick.
3rd place, and this is all EG from here, Ricky Ortiz with Nash and Chun-Li. 2nd place, Justin Wong with Alex and Guile only. And 1st place, K-Brad with Cammy.
Yo.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, shout out to K-Brad for taking the whole thing. I heard he was not happy that he played against Justin's Alex and Guile rather than
no, he
Justin's
wasn't happy.
Karen.
Oh, yeah.
Justin said since it wasn't a CPT event, he was going to try other characters.
I think that's super smart.
Makes sense, yeah.
I really like that.
He also said that one of the reasons he's been playing Alex is that Alex completely dunks Dhalsim. He just
Really?
thinks that matchup's like god awful, and so he's like training that because like he wants to play Alex in like against him.
matchups, yeah.
I guess he said on
makes
stream
sense.
yesterday that he played Champ at Northwest Major and like destroyed him with Alex.
Really?
Like
Yeah,
it was
like,
bad.
definitely Alex is a character that some folks who play Sim are worried about, for sure.
I think a lot of people need to take another look at Mr. Alex.
That character's good.
That
I've been
character's
saying
good.
I think he might be the best grappler.
I think
I've been saying
I
that.
think
I mean,
him and
just-
Mika are the strongest.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Justin has even said too, like he was like, I don't think Guile's very good, like after this event. But
Yeah.
we'll see.
He told me that at Northwest Majors he thought the same thing.
But I mean, look, we'll see a very similar thing going on in Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3. Spoilers: Noel Brown beat Justin Wong. And I know the chat's all going to be like collusion or whatever like that, but you saw their exchange on Twitter, which was actually a really cool exchange, where Noel was like, I didn't beat Justin Wong, and Justin's like, you totally bodied me, and Noel's like, no, I know you, that you weren't playing at full strength. I'll know when I beat you, and I'll be happy when I
He'll
do.
never be at full strength in that game.
Not again.
Yeah, I know.
He hasn't practiced it since he won Evo. That like he has not played the game like that.
You know,
So-
he only plays it in tournaments.
Yeah.
What were the results?
7th place was E.G. Justin Wong with Wolverine Storm Akuma. 7th place also was NWM Northwest Majors Kyle P. from Seattle, going with Spencer Doom Virgil. You'll hear more from that crew in a little bit. 5th place was Neo with Magneto, Doom, and Phoenix, as well as K-Brad with Trish, Virgil, Dante. 4th place was Noel Brown with Wolverine, Dr. Doom, Phoenix. 3rd place, B, forced to play Marvel every time Canada Cup comes
What
around.
are the letters and numbers there?
JJATJJ5B.
Got it.
So yeah, B just gets dragged out of retirement and forced to play the game against his will. Like
Yeah,
Lab
pretty
Chi
much.
gives him a shot and like ankle chains him to the chair and it's like
Yep.
Marvel now.
Yep.
And he just does well. I don't know how
Spencer,
that happens.
Frank West, and Dante. Kane Blue River was in this tournament,
Yep.
but he got 2nd place.
Yeah.
2nd place was Kane Blue River with Hulk, Hagar, Sentinel, and others because the grand finals didn't go so well for him.
Yeah, he played. He had a PR ROG that he played, and
you
he
know,
also played Firebrand
Firebrand
team.
which all got dunked by the person who won 1st place, and that is Jabril from the Northwest, from Seattle, using 0 Virgil Dante. So this guy apparently wasn't even the best Marvel player in Seattle for a long time, but apparently he's just been grinding it out, and now he's like really good, and a lot of the Seattle players are like super happy to see him with this kind of success. And he took the tournament, and he beat Kane Blue River both in winner's side and on loser's side.
Yeah, I was watching the end of that. Got pretty sad there at the end because he was like running like a Firebrand team and a
Yeah,
Doom
it was
team, and I was just like,
Not good.
oh yeah, we were in the car.
You guys were watching?
Yeah, we were watching that. So, but yeah, I mean, I don't know the reason for it, but it definitely was just.
I just think because in winners finals he got bodied too,
Mm-hmm.
and so he was probably like, I really need to see if I can find something else. And
Yeah, I mean, he might have suspected that he was going to lose, but like maybe try for future events, like see how these things go, get an idea for how he should approach future stuff.
well, they did have some exhibition matches where Kane Blue River beat Justin Wong 15-10.
Yeah.
Justin Wong did beat B though 15-9, and Kane Blue River bodied B 15-4.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So there you go.
I know KBR's had a lot of time against Fizzy.
Oh yeah, that's right.
They're in
Yeah.
the same team, so it makes sense.
BBCP Extend. 4th place was VSB Nekusonokuzaki.
Something.
3rd place was Louis Alucard. 2nd place was Klim. 1st place Kairos. In Revelator, 4th place Sam Chow. 3rd place LTL. 2nd place WCAG www.keeponrock.in. And 1st place Win God Dude.
Win God, dude.
All right.
I don't know who any of those people are. So.
I mean, I've seen
Zoinks.
keep on rocking.
I've seen that before,
on
but
like Twitter. I've seen him there. But Under Night in Birth, 3rd place was Lolly Drunk Suika, and 2nd place was LTL. 1st place Klim. Mortal Kombat.
This is so funny.
What happened here?
4th place is Razira. 3rd place is Chong Li. 2nd place was Colton 360. 1st place was E.G. Justin Wong with his J1 Raiden.
Thunder God.
But they made changes to him in XL.
Oh yeah.
It's not the same character.
Justin is, yeah.
But they made changes to him in XL.
He actually tweeted at CD Jr. was like, did you see I won a major for Mortal Kombat XL? Kappa. And I was like, dang, he even had to put in the Kappa. Like, he couldn't even say it straight face. Like, oh,
Dude,
man.
I was so sad. Like, so they just put Bloodsport on Netflix, and I turned it on, and I've seen that movie like a million times, and I've never seen the beginning of the film.
Yeah, I saw you tweet that.
Yeah, I was
saw you
like,
tweet
how was
that.
that even
What
possible?
do you mean? Yeah.
Look,
I
I-
what do
like,
you mean?
the
Like, you
very
don't know
first-
who's in the
like-
movie? Like, the
the
plot?
very first
Yeah, I know,
part,
you see
like,
the
where
fights,
they,
right?
where like he's training, where he tries to steal the sword, and like all those other guys. Are,
Yeah,
like,
you've
training.
never seen that?
I don't remember that at all. Maybe I saw it a long time ago, but
Like
look,
the
I'm
police
old.
are chasing him.
I'm old. I've
Yeah.
seen that part,
Yeah, okay.
obviously. You know?
I have
Saying,
to
like,
watch
you
that
have to
movie.
know like how it started, like
It
why
always,
the police
for
looking
some
for him.
reason, my memory of that film starts as soon as they play Karate Champ. Like as soon as they start playing Karate Champ, I feel like
believe
that's
that.
like
I
where
believe
that movie always starts.
I have to watch that movie
Yeah.
if it ever comes on TV.
Oh yeah,
Well,
yeah.
everybody has
It's like, it's legit. Like, all right, guess I gotta go do this jury duty. And
no, yeah, dude.
Everybody has
Bloodsport's the
movies
best.
like that where like you see it on and it's like, oh well, I'm stuck. That's
Yeah.
it, 2 hours.
I really wish there was a sequel where we explored Jackson more, because Jackson was.
He's
the
in
star.
a Bloodsport 2. There is a Bloodsport 2, and he's in it.
Oh, actually, you're totally right. There is.
Is
yeah,
there really?
I've never seen it, but I think it's like a direct-to-home.
I was like,
thing
I
or
guess
something.
you haven't seen this. I was just like,
You're right.
Is that actually? I
That's
didn't know.
Yeah,
there was
it
a-
does exist.
apparently
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
remaking it though. It's either they're remaking Kickboxer or Bloodsport. I can't remember which
Oh.
one.
But you-
And Van Damme is definitely in it.
But you did hear that, though.
I just care about Jackson. He was the best fighter.
Yeah.
He took out Chong Li in like 10 seconds.
Yeah.
And then he was too happy about it. Fine, he got
Yeah.
he got dunked in the side of the head.
Yeah,
I like how
fine.
he's like, in like 10 seconds.
Seriously,
I mean, he
though.
might have jumped over a little bit,
No,
but
like if he had just not
Went in, yeah.
if he just
uh-huh.
went in, I think he was the best fighter in that whole.
So
tournament.
you're telling me right now.
Because Frank Dukes took like 10 years to beat Chong Li and had to go through all his process. Jackson was just like, bam, that was it.
he says he had to go through this process, like training and all this stupid
Jackson's
stuff.
just
Going to
drinking
visit
beer.
Jackson because he's paralyzed.
Here's why I like Jackson.
That's what I'm thinking, right?
'Cause I like Jackson because he's just playing video games. He's just drinking beer, and then he just goes in and he blows up Chong Li.
So living
Yes.
vicariously.
Yeah, look.
Yeah.
I feel like
He's just answering some emails, drawing up some contracts.
I may have had him as my computer desktop background.
Oh
for a while.
my god.
Was it him? Like
He's
when he was
confessing
doing
his
like
life.
yeah, like when he came to
Yes,
the
it
edge of the
was.
ring. Yeah, I already know what it is.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
You see that?
Kumite.
Oh, he was so happy.
Kumite. The fight to survive.
Yo, that
my
movie,
God.
man, that was too much. Like I legit, if that comes on, I'm gonna stab.
Kumite. Kumite.
Oh man.
The worst,
Woo!
the only
That's
thing
such
that
a
makes
good
me
movie
sad
right
is
there.
that Frank Dukes made the whole thing up.
Yeah.
None of that actually happened. Anyway.
So Civil War spoilers are over. Anyway,
Yeah, so
let's get-
Smash Brothers for Wii U here at Canada Cup. 4th place Cantrip. 3rd place Captain L. 2nd place Kaka Big D. And 1st place was Anti. And Pokken Tournament, third place, EKC. Second place, Cadence. And first place, Xavier, which just might be Xavier.
Okay, you tried. That was cool.
Okay. Well,
All right,
good.
there you go. That's some results.
So that's the previous events. Let's talk about some upcoming event stuff.
Whew.
Hang on, let me do something really quick here.
Gotta change it.
Yeah, see, I'm actually on the ball this time.
Look at you go, James.
There you go. See, highlighted differently.
There you go. Wait, can you do it?
What, point?
Yeah, or the point. Can you do it?
That was okay.
I mean, I was too far, but
Yeah.
I had the spot.
Your arm's too long, dude. That was all it was. I know how that works. Yeah.
Okay, so some upcoming events, not this weekend, but later events. They announced the Battle of the Boroughs 5v5 Street Fighter V exhibition announced for Defend the North, and this is all around the New York boroughs, and it's really cool. They have like
a really
bunch
cool
of different
idea.
captains and stuff. So I guess like let me see if so there's the captains have just been announced. There's
Okay.
8 boroughs that are being represented. So Team Brooklyn, the captain is Henry Sen. Team Bronx, the captain is Coach Steve. Team Manhattan will be helmed by IFC Yyyep.
Hey.
Team Queens
from
will
Manhattan.
be captained by Arturo Sanchez. Team Long Island, of course, is going to be L.I. Joe. Team Upstate is going to be Rainbow Impact.
Hey.
Sick.
That's cool.
Team New Jersey is going to be Shakugan. And Team Connecticut is going to be, the captain is Free J.
Man, there's no Staten Island in there. Always the
not.
forgotten borough. It's too bad.
Always the forgotten borough.
Yeah.
That's a really cool idea for an event,
That's a
though, I
really
think.
cool idea.
No, I mean, look, I have talked about this to like the Texas scene forever,
Indeed.
right?
Indeed you
Like
have.
like Dallas, Austin, San Antonio, and Houston just need to create a Texas league.
I mean, those are very large distances, but
Yeah.
but this is one city.
But you
Well,
could
more or
have
less.
they
Right,
could do like the league throughout the year, and then like Texas Showdown.
Right,
is
exactly. They
something
could
or
just
other.
arrange it so that maybe once a month they find a way to gather 2 of the teams. You know what I mean?
Something.
So, but you know, because it's good because then what happens? Like
Fight
what
for
I
our
always-
entertainment. That's all I want.
What I always say about these team tournament things like this is that, like, New York has a problem where, and I'm saying this because they all tell me this too, that they don't help each other. New York has that problem that they don't. There's no casuals there. They're always trying to beat each other and they hide stuff from each other. But if you create teams, they'll start sharing stuff with each other, and you'll build that kind of relationship. And I think that's actually really key. I think
that
that's gonna
works.
be really good.
I think that's crazy that you can say it out loud, but it's still a problem when you go back to it. I think we just need to create teams so we'll play together more. No, it's stupid. She'll walk off.
Yeah, that's big of a problem.
Yeah, dude.
In SoCal, we're all just lazy. It's far.
Yeah, that's what it is.
So I guess
For sure.
the Pokken Tournament Champion Series, they've actually gave out with some more details, and I guess there's a Masters and a Seniors division
Yeah.
that's coming out. So players born after 2001 will
Yeah.
compete in the Masters divisions. Meanwhile, those born before 2001 will be part of the Seniors division.
Dang. All
Man,
right.
they're like walking, talking humans who were born after 2001. They're like they have like individual personalities now.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
can
it's
actually
like
play
skills
video
of their
games.
own.
Yeah.
Shout out to my boy Waylon. He won the first one and got the first spot at the Pokemon Championship
Right.
in New York that I went to.
Dang.
Using Blaziken.
That means they're like 15 or 16, huh?
Yeah,
Dang,
like he's
that's
on my
crazy.
Facebook and everything, man. Dude's cool and he's really good. And like
No one born after the year 2000 should be speaking in complete sentences right now.
Yo,
I mean,
Dude,
seriously.
like Facebook was made just a few years after that. Like there are probably people on Facebook born after Facebook. That's
see, that's how I feel about Space Jam. That's Space Jam for me, man.
Yeah,
I barely made
people
the
are
Space
alive
Jam
who
cut
have
out.
always known Facebook. That's
Yeah.
great.
Dude,
Like
I
they-
already feel
like,
that way about Street
They're
Fighter.
probably little babies, and their moms and dads put them on Facebook,
That's
and
the
they've
thing, yeah.
literally grown up on. This is absurd.
This is absurd.
Gotta
David, you
put
need to
an
get
end
on
to
that.
this.
You gotta. He said you gotta put an end to this.
But your Street Fighter point always makes me laugh.
Yeah, dude. There are some people who have been born who don't know what life is like without Street Fighter. Street Fighter has always been a property in their life, and they are some of the best players right now in our country,
Yeah.
like Christopher
Tan.
and Filipino Man.
Knuckle
you know?
Dude.
Told my age.
Knuckle
Knuckle
Dude,
Dude,
yeah. Jace the Ace. These guys, they don't know what life is like
Babies.
without Street Fighter.
Good at Street Fighter.
Like I know a good like 18 years of what life was like without Street Fighter. 17
Oh, here we
years.
go.
Yeah.
I had to walk 18 miles in the snow uphill to get a hot potato. Like, what?
You don't understand.
Back in his day.
Back in my day, we didn't have automobiles.
I had to walk uphill.
Oh,
I had
man.
to play games with quarters.
Oh, whoa.
And sometimes the quarter would fall into the cabinet, and I had to hold that.
Dang, that sucks.
Like, do you think there's some point where like the parents are like, all right, Bill or Billy, you're old enough now that you can control your own Facebook. We're not going to control your Facebook. We're not going to put
We're
up
going to
the
give you
handles.
the password.
Here's your password.
Here's your
now,
password.
yeah.
Like, you're-
When you come of age, it's part of your
Your 16th-year-old birthday, you're like, here's the keys to your brand new Facebook.
Oh, Mom, you're the best.
That's what I've always wanted. Oh, man.
Do I get access to my own privacy settings? You sure do.
We'll talk about
You sure do. I always
my
hated
God.
Janie.
All right.
it. Ugh.
So KOF 14 demo has been announced to be at like everything.
Everything.
So I
Really
have
smart.
like all these. So
Really
CEO,
smart.
it's gonna be at CEO 2016. It's gonna be playable at. I guess it's already was playable because
Yeah.
it should be this week at Korea's Play X4 event, and then it'll also be playable at Stunfest, which is coming up this weekend.
Combo
And
breaker.
Combo breaker.
It'll be available at
Oh,
Combo
yeah,
Breaker.
Combo Breaker as well. There
Hey, do
go.
you want to tell them about our thing we're doing for Combo Breaker?
Let's talk about that later.
Alright.
Okay. Well,
We'll talk about that later.
That's like that story that you told me about Kevin Feige and the Infinity Glove. Really?
Yeah.
You're gonna do that? But
Talk
anyways,
about it
yeah,
later.
we'll talk about it later.
All right.
Okay. So, what's coming up this weekend? So apparently our awesome resource, tinyurl.com/FGC events, is gone again.
Yeah, I know.
I have no idea.
Whoa.
And even his original account that he used on Twitter, like his own personal one, is apparently gone.
Oh,
Whoa.
I
So
didn't know
I
that.
have no idea what happened to Malice's Godlike.
That
I don't
sucks.
know what happened. But the
Where
calendar
are you?
apparently is still there, but it's private now or
Okay.
something, but I can't access it anymore. I don't have that master list of everything that's
Yeah.
coming up this weekend anymore.
We'll have to guesstimate.
Well, I know Stunfest is coming up this weekend.
And
gonna
Toryuken.
And Toryuken.
And
right.
Toryuken.
It's going to be gigantic. So Daigo will be at this event. I mean, he hasn't been to a premiere yet.
Or an open tournament at all.
Well, right, yeah.
Right.
So it's going to be really awesome to see how he stacks up against everybody else. Of course, there are going to be top European players there as well. And, like, I heard like 14 or 15 players from East Asia will be there.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah, you mean for Stunfest, right?
For Stunfest.
I actually,
for Street
I
Fighter.
just talked to those guys. Did a thing with them, spoke to them about the event. It's not gonna be many American players there.
Right.
There's Lord Goots. He's the one and only.
So it's gonna be like mostly European, Japan, China. It's gonna be a crazy tournament.
It's
'cause
crazy.
I feel like the events that I like the most are where we spectate. Because now it's gotten to the point in tournaments where anybody can go anywhere. But I honestly like when they have big tournaments where we have to watch and not participate. You don't have to root. You just got to say, hey, I want to see what's happening.
Yeah.
in this
There's some
tournament.
value in that for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. No infiltration this weekend.
It's true.
And I've heard speculation that part of why there are so many other players going there from East Asia is that they're trying to swoop in when there's no infiltration and get those points.
That makes sense.
I think it makes sense. If that's, I don't know if that's real, but that's what I've heard.
I'm pretty sure Capcom had this in mind with so many events. I mean, think about it. If you have events and you have all these players that's able to go to all, even Justin was upset. He wants to go to all of these events because he wants to make sure he's in. But on the same note, if you place him everywhere, nobody can be everywhere at once, and it just gives everybody else the chance to get
Justin
in
going
there.
to the Peru one?
All
going to
all the
Toryuken.
EG guys will be at
Toryuken,
Toryuken,
yeah,
which is
okay.
also this weekend, and then there's the Peru event as well,
Okay.
which is happening in Peru,
Okay.
and that's what I know about it.
Okay. Well, wish we had more. I know that Toryuken's happening in Toronto area.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wish we had more info, but
Yeah.
those are the big ones to watch.
Yeah, hopefully we'll grab. And like I said, we don't have the stream information and stuff like that. So hopefully, I mean, let me see if I have some information here. So let's see.
It'll be May, right?
May, right? So yeah.
Stunfest in.
Stunfest Lima Salty 3 is what the Peru one is, and Toryuken 5. Yeah, it's gonna be on in Toronto, Canada.
Sounds
there you
good
go.
to me.
Alrighty.
So that's it for games and events. You want to take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll talk about some community stuff. Oh, we'll talk about some game news. then some community movement, lots of interesting things happening in the community. And then we'll be talking about some Civil War.
You got it.
Civil War. Be right back.
All right, welcome back to the UltraChen Show. What do we got?
We've got some game news coming up. Apparently, they're after the last patch came out for Super Smash Bros. Wii U, they kind of hinted that it would be the last one.
They do that with every patch.
Yeah.
This is the last Smash Bros. Wii U patch. Everybody gets sad. 4 months later, we get another patch.
Then they announce 4 more characters.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
And yep, sure enough, there's a 1.1.6 patch that's coming out for Smash Wii U. So a lot of people are curious to see how it's going to go, especially because a lot of people really hate Bayonetta. Right?
Dude, they're going to nerf the crap out of that character.
Yeah.
That is ridiculous.
And it's funny, too,
Hater.
because there was actually just a video that was put out, I think it was by ESAM, that showed how to get away from Bayonetta's up B into tilt into up air. And you just basically have to DI going up so that you go too high and it misses.
Oh, funky.
Like most of the time you want to DI towards the stage to keep yourself in fine web. So in that case, if you up B and you just mash on the up inputs, you'll push yourself too high so that it won't actually get you.
Oh, does it work like that? You have to press it multiple times to
No,
get
you
more?
only have to press it once, but it requires very
once, but
small
you have-
timing.
yeah.
Oh.
There's a small window to it, so if you just do it that way, then you'll get
Okay,
it
interesting.
guaranteed.
I can
so.
see them changing that.
But yeah, they probably are gonna nerf Bayonetta anyway.
They're definitely going to nerf Ben. There's no way that they're going to let her rock.
People are complaining too much.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so we talked about this a little bit.
Briefly, yeah.
Where apparently, if you play Street Fighter V with the legacy controllers, there's actually less lag.
It's like a frame less, basically.
Yeah.
So default on PS4 is 8, and then it goes to 7.
I was actually really tempted last night to play it on because the PS4 controller has a switch. You just turn it to PS3 and it's a legacy controller now.
You can't do it that way, though.
Oh,
From
really?
what I was told, you can't do it that way.
Really? Oh,
Yeah, you have to go through the legacy.
Well, yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah,
Turn
I
it to
would
PS3
switch it
and
and
do
then I
legacy.
would
Oh, okay,
register
okay,
it
okay.
that way. But the thing is, I was like, I don't want to get used to it.
You know, my roommate and I were playing on PC with
The V-Sync?
the better timing, and then he was like, "Yeah, we can't do this," because he went back to his room and was trying to play, and he's like, "I can't. The timing's so different now that I can't do it." So we're like, "All right," so I just turned it back to more lag so that we could play normal.
You know, I mean, the funny thing about it is, I know a lot of people say, the 8 frames of lag, excuse, or whatever, but having it confirmed, there's a lot of things that make sense to me now. Canceling lights in the specials in this game is way, the window felt smaller than it's ever been. And it's probably because you can't wait until you see it hit to cancel, which you could before. You have to cancel it kind of beforehand.
Yeah, it's like a dial combo.
And that's why I was saying I think that's the way they intended the game to be played. I don't really think it's a mistake. I think
Yeah, it might not be a mistake, but it would be nice for a lot of us if it wasn't that way. It
that would
be
change the dynamic of the
preferable
game.
to be that way, but if it's the way they designed the game, then we've got.
What
to
if
that way.
their patch after Capcom Cup to balance the game is just to remove the lag?
Dude, that would be sick.
That's their balance patch.
That
So
would be
now the
stupid.
game is brand new.
That would be so
There's
stupid.
0 lag.
I would not be for that. Like, I would not be for that.
I think that might make Zangief worse.
Damn, it would.
That would be a sick balance
That's
patch.
actually true because then it would be way easier to see when he's trying to go for SPD.
They
They would literally have to lower his SPD to 3 frames in order to make.
Yeah, they would have to buff him for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be a
Actually,
sick balance
that's a
patch.
really interesting point. The fact that his SPD has so much startup, like in any other game, 5 frame startup SPD would
It's
make
bad.
you would think like it's just unusable. But in a game with 8 frames of lag, input lag, like maybe it was intended.
That's what I'm saying, dude.
Okay.
There's no way that they put 8 frames of lag in there and they're just like, whoops. But look at...
I
don't
think
know,
it's.
man.
I think it's.
Dude,
I feel
what?
like that's.
Dude,
100%
I'm giving you guys a lot of credit right
I'm
now.
telling you
There's like
right now.
somebody's resume is like, I'm the guy that put in 8 frames of lag
Yeah,
by myself.
yeah,
like that
exactly.
resume exists
The
somewhere.
one-man show.
I mean, but think about it.
Somewhere.
Just think about what you guys just said. If they remove that lag, Zangief becomes a completely different character.
The whole game
lot of characters.
would be different, yeah.
So-
There's things that like Birdie's X dive is worse.
Mhm.
Like there's lots of things.
You
Yeah,
don't
Birdie
even
would be
react to
different.
certain
Yeah.
things.
Although
Yeah.
Birdie would be able to play footsies better.
Yeah, a lot. You'd be able to whip.
Different.
You'd be able to whip punish better,
Right,
which is
yeah.
like important. You know,
Oh yeah, I saw about this.
pretty good.
Yeah, on the Guilty Gear Exert Revelator front, it looks like PlayStation and Axis Games have combined efforts to release character primers for the game. So
that's really cool.
Really cool.
For the
yeah.
newer characters, so
That's
you can
awesome.
so you can get a feel for them. Like Kun Heun, it's a new female character. She's in a robot
Yeah.
suit. They're just letting you
Robot
know how the
looking.
character's played, and then Raven basically plays like Jeddah from Darkstalkers.
so
I
excited
feel like
for
that's
Raven.
right up your alley, dude. I think that's really
Yo,
dope.
I want to try Raven. That character looks awesome.
And they also give and another thing that Axis does, they let you download those characters for free for a limited amount of time. So you don't have to buy them if you download them in a specific date. And I think they give you like new colors as well. These,
Alright.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
all
they
right.
make they love sweetening
Keep an
the
eye on
deal.
that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
you
they-
can just go, even if you don't buy the game yet, you can say, I'm gonna go download these characters. So when I do get the game, I don't have
They
to
just
pay
give
for
you
it.
everything.
I don't care where I am. I'm
Like,
legit just
and
gonna
here's a
pick up my
treasure
phone
chest
and be like,
of gold,
and do it
and
that
like
way.
here's everything you ever wanted in your life.
That's
Remember that
awesome.
pony you wanted as a kid? You also get that as DLC.
Can't say I didn't help you guys out, but yeah,
Yeah.
definitely they let you
crazy.
download the 2 DLC characters. Yep, first 2 weeks you can
Mm-hmm.
download them for free.
Along with the 2 new characters, you can also download the Eclipse Color Pack from PlayStation
Yep.
Network from the 7th to the 21st.
That's cool.
So there you go.
All right. Well, I'm
Giving
gonna be in there.
giving all characters a new color set based on a solar eclipse.
Yeah, that's what they
So,
did with the Tron colors as well.
like
They
black,
made it
red, and white or
PlayStation
something?
exclusive.
The PlayStation.
Yeah, they have Tron colors that came out for Exit
Yeah,
that you
well,
can only download
it was
for PlayStation Plus.
PlayStation colors. It was
Oh,
black with the glowing blue, right? And
That
then you can
sounds
call
cool.
it Tron.
you have sold me on
Yeah.
Tron.
But I don't know
They're
if you
sick,
can get
though.
it anymore.
I don't think you can
Yeah,
get them
right,
anymore.
right.
But the colors.
Dude,
are
it's
sick.
Tron Johnny. Oh my.
Oh, I wish they. Oh.
Dang, that sounds like
Exact.
looks
Dude,
super
Tron
cool.
Leo
Dude.
is like his. Oh my god.
I've seen that
Tron
one, I've seen
Venom?
that.
Oh,
Oh,
dude.
that sounds awesome.
Dude, it's sick.
Yeah, it's really.
Dude,
Look,
Tron
everything.
Slayer has like the little cow right here. It's just like glowing. Oh my god, it's so sick. Anyways.
I'm really
I'm all
sad
about
that they're
Tron.
calling it that said Splatoon was talked on this show. Splatoon is still an amazing game. It's an awesome game, and I just wish I was playing it. If I was still playing it, we would be talking the hell about
Oh.
that game.
I don't have a Wii U.
I don't either. Yeah.
You guys don't have Wii U's? What's wrong with you people?
I don't
It's like the best
Well,
console
you know,
of the generation.
part of joining UltraChen, we were supposed to get them in the mail. They just haven't arrived.
Yeah,
oh,
we
yeah,
haven't
yeah,
got
that's
them.
right, that's right,
All
that's right,
our
that's true.
Connections.
Yeah, where's
got
the
it,
the
guys.
UltraChen card? Swipe that bad
Oh,
boy.
yeah.
Get us some Wii U's. All
No
right.
problem.
Now, of course, you know, for including unlikely things to ever happen, you know, there's apparently a fan petition that was put out to let Marvel know that fans want Marvel vs. Capcom 4.
You didn't sign that petition?
I didn't sign the petition.
Why?
Because, dude, when has an online petition worked?
Never. Probably never.
Hey, remember
That's
when that
not
guy won the lottery, and then some fake Twitter dude came out and he was like, "Hey, if you retweet this, I'm gonna give you 10,000 of my dollars."
I retweeted it.
I retweeted it too because I figured there was like a 0.0 times a lot 1% chance it would work, but
Right.
the level of like my investment was so minuscule that I was like, all right, fine.
So you
like,
it's
like,
the same
like multiplying
thing.
this
Okay.
percentage, fine. I don't know.
No.
I don't think it's So I don't think it's the same thing.
You know when you
So you really think
when he
they'll see-
retweeted that tweet, I was like, why would he even do that? It's so clearly fake.
And then you
Obviously,
did a follow-up tweet,
and then
though.
you tweeted
Yeah.
and was like, in the small chance, and I was like, retweet. Like, it was like the fastest retweet in my life.
There's like
I was
no chance it's gonna happen, but all you gotta do is click a thing. You were already gonna click a thing. Just click
Right.
here instead rather than over there.
It was like so easy.
That's all.
David's reasoning for clicking here instead of there. You need to write a book. I'd buy
It
that.
was so good. I
I'm
was
saying,
like,
but
duh.
even me, even knowing that, I'm probably not gonna bother.
So
with
wait.
that.
Are you saying right now that you don't want a Marvel vs.
No, I would
Capcom?
love it. It'd be awesome.
So
I just feel like there's almost no chance, almost as no chance as this dude paying me $10,000.
oh my god.
And my level of time investment is, I don't know, 100 times more.
Yeah.
So
it's a
wait,
lot.
even though it's like 2
why,
minutes,
why do you
it's
think
100
that
times
wouldn't
more.
happen?
Yeah.
What is the mindset behind believing it wouldn't happen?
So I get that Disney is no longer making games themselves. They're going to be licensing things out. I think that they, like when Marvel 3 came out last, it was before this whole round of Marvel movies. And they were like trying to pump up characters that nobody ever heard of before. Like Rocket Raccoon and Ant-Man being on like Hawkeye's thing. I don't really think that that's going to be the case in the future, barring like different plans. If you start developing a game now, so say that they want to start developing a game. Talking about the contract is going to take like a year, okay? And then after that, you got to put the team together and you got to make the game. And we're talking about several more years.
Right.
And then the Marvel Universe thing is already wrapped up, unless there's like a whole bunch of new stuff.
And the interesting part about it is too, it's like, you know, they were doing that to hype a lot of the characters. Dude, you don't need that anymore.
No.
Because like everybody is so hyped for Black Panther and Spider-Man, it's ridiculous.
Well, I mean,
Like if they could put out a game tomorrow that was like, here's Black Panther, like if they could like DLC add Black Panther into Marvel 3, that would be
Okay.
fantastic. But
So-
it's definitely not happening.
so one thing. They did Marvel 3's and almost entire cast had something to do with the next
movies.
line of movies coming out. The Marvel phases aren't stopping with this. So even if it is several years down the line, Kevin Feige says they have movies lined up to 2027.
Right.
That's more than enough time for them to develop a new Marvel vs. Capcom game and put new characters in it.
It might happen. It might happen. But if it happens,
It's not because of the petition.
yeah.
Man, you guys are haters. You're dream killers. What about the Easter Bunny, huh? What about Santa Claus? Just no? No?
You can just take yourself and hop right out that door.
I always knew the truth about Santa Claus.
I always do.
Yeah.
And I had to save it from my Christian friends when I was growing up.
Oh no.
My parents were like, David, you shouldn't spoil it for them.
But the Wi-Fi wizard is real.
Dude, I'm
But
surprised.
the Wi-Fi wizard.
I'm
Wi-Fi
surprised
wizard
you didn't
is real.
spoil it for them anyway.
No, I would feel bad. In fact, my dad used to dress up as Santa Claus for some people because he's kind of a rotund fella, and it definitely worked out.
Kind of a rotund fella.
Because he was always like, oh, you know, like you shouldn't spoil it for them. Let them have their little fun, you know. They'll grow up and feel jaded one day, but right now it's all good.
I was always the kid that was terrified of the Santa Clauses. Like when you saw him at the mall, like I would be scared.
How?
He's
Wait,
so
wait.
big,
Jolly.
guy. Like, he's so huge.
It's like people that are afraid of clowns. I don't get it. Like, I just don't get it.
Dude, when I first went to Disneyland, like my brother ran up to like Pluto and all those characters, you know, walking around. I was terrified.
What?
I didn't want to go anywhere near any of them.
There's only one thing that terrified the shit out of me, right? So we had, it was before
Besides space and the ocean
Yeah, I know, he
and
said
bridges.
tornadoes.
How about
and
walking under bridges?
You're not afraid. Whoa.
walking under
We're gonna take a
bridges?
step back.
forgot about that.
We're gonna take a step back here. You mean to tell me that you're not afraid of dying in space?
Oh man, if I could go into space, of course I would be afraid of dying in space. I just think that
You take the risk,
benefit
right?
would outweigh the risk.
Oh
can
man,
you
these stars are so beautiful.
Look, I'll tell you this right
That's
now.
fine. Yeah,
If
that's
I
pretty
had
much
the
what I would
opportunity
feel.
that I could see the Earth from the outside, your whole perspective on life and the planet and everything will change so drastically.
That's true. That's cool. And when we get these Gundams, we will go to outer space.
Hey, why would you trust Gundams? Why
Because they're Gundam. Do you know what a Gundam is?
Yeah, it can break. It's a piece of machinery.
It can break, but the likelihood of it breaking without battle, David, Come on, man.
That thing is way more complicated than like a space shuttle.
Yeah, a space shuttle is a tube.
Yeah.
It's like, look,
It's a tube.
It's a
That's why
living
you guys
tube.
are gonna
It's
die in
just a
space.
tube.
It's just a living
Say
thing.
Jam Ultra David.
like obviously
Die
it's
in space. I'm
complicated,
just
but
saying.
It's not like
You also
Gundam
thought we
level
were gonna
complicated.
die under a bridge because that's
Dude.
where the putties from Power Rangers
Look,
fight.
I'm telling you
He
right
said.
now,
That was really
there is
awesome.
there's no way anybody that I know would walk under that bridge.
You know me, and I would walk under the
That's
bridge.
because you're dumb, Say Jam. You no one would walk under that bridge.
It was just a normal bridge in Texas. It was dark and there was construction there, but it was just a bridge
So they were gonna walk under a bridge to
get
go
to
somewhere.
To food.
No, 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 no. You think I'm joking? Tweet, Brent, Julio, who else?
Craymore.
And Craymore. And ask them if they were going to walk under that bridge.
You can ask them all they want. They'll tell you it was totally safe. I'm telling you right now. It was dark, but you could walk under
It
the
was
bridge.
dark. It was construction machinery under there. You couldn't see where you were walking. It was fine.
What was your final
It was
reason?
right over there. It doesn't matter what the final reason was, Steve. The point is, it's dangerous. That's all I'm saying.
It was because of Power Rangers, right?
That was the reason.
That wasn't the reason. So whoa. When I said that, say Jim, what happened? What did you do?
I believed you.
You goddamn right you believe me. Because everybody, I'm just saying, man. What? Like, I was like...
This conversation makes no sense to anybody.
Alright.
Guarantee. Guarantee it.
So community.
It didn't make
news.
sense to me, and I had it yesterday.
I was there and I don't understand what happened either. It was so weird, man.
All right.
That's like the homeless guy attacking mannnn CEO.
Oh, man.
Anyways, okay, community news. Community.
Every week, he cries. Every week, he
It's so
gets tears in his
stupid.
eyes, man.
It was so
Community
stupid.
news. Some big movements have been coming up around the FGC. Probably the most big one is that Daigo Umehara is now officially Red Bull Daigo Umehara. He still has an association and a partnership with Mad
It's like
Catz.
a product sponsor is what it's called or something like
but
that.
he's no longer, they're no longer sending him to events and all that stuff. He is now part of Red Bull. He has joined the team with Snake Eyes and Leffen and etc.
Well,
Who's
I'm
gonna
interested to
stop
see.
these guys?
I'm just interested to see how his name shows up when he goes to Stunfest.
Yeah, me too.
Like, is it going to be MCZ Daigo still, or will it be RB Daigo? Because there are Red Bull athletes who are in esports things.
Like Bjergsen is.
Leffen.
Yeah, like Bjergsen. Yeah, exactly.
Leffen, he's TSM and Red Bull.
There you go.
Right.
Yeah.
So when he goes to events, he wears like the TSM jacket and shirt, and then like his tag in game was RB.
Oh.
So like
Yeah,
I don't,
so
and then
interesting
like
to
his
see.
thing is TSM Leffen. So it's like
Yeah.
it seems very confusing, but also
Yeah, but it's really cool. Red Bull definitely making a lot of big moves trying to get these names here. But what's actually I thought was super cool is that one part of this deal is that they're gonna take Daigo's book and translate it into English.
Yeah, that's at
That's
Evo.
amazing.
Evo
So
is when it'll be available.
That's right. So the first time you could buy it, the English copy will be at Evo. I will probably buy it and never read it, like I do with all my books.
That's what I'm gonna do.
I'm gonna read it.
Dude, there's a whole like that. You know that Evo Moment 37 book? I haven't even finished reading that yet.
Yeah.
And the entire
Like
chapter
when?
3 is about me. Like I'm like a focus in part of that book, and I haven't read the whole book yet.
For shame.
Now that I think about it, I think I'll read it.
I'm definitely
I
gonna.
I
would
think
like
I
to read it,
should.
sure.
Yeah.
I'm just a terrible reader. I'm not a very good reader. I didn't read a lot as a kid.
Life stories, huh?
Yeah.
I read a crap ton. Like I read a lot.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Okay.
That's why he knows about
Me too.
putties under the bridge.
Yep. It stopped you from going in there.
Hey, you didn't die by putty.
It's true.
I'm telling you, dude. We've seen this happen in horror movies. You would have went under there. You would have turned around. You would have saw that putty, and before it snapped your neck, you would
Who
have
was
said,
the first person?
"Steve is right," and then
No,
you would
no,
have
no,
died.
no, no, no. That wouldn't have happened.
You said Julio was gonna die first, though, right?
Oh,
'Cause
yeah,
he was,
Julio.
he was like the excitable adventure guy,
Yeah.
so he was
Oh,
like definitely
yeah,
down.
yeah,
He was like,
Sure.
dude, he's like, are you guys down? I'm
Sure.
down. And we're like, dude, you're crazy. Like you're
Dude,
gonna
my
get us
friends
all
actually
killed.
did. They actually, two of my best friends were watching the movie Anaconda, and as soon as
That's
the
a good
movie
movie.
started, they were like, dead first, dead second, dead third, dead fourth.
You
dead
can
fifth.
call it out.
Like
Yeah.
they did that, and they were 100% right. And they always said that the black guy dies very early on unless he's a rapper. Because the rapper always lives, like LL Cool J, you know,
Oh.
in Deep Sea.
I thought you meant like in terms of the plot. I was
Yeah.
like, how
No,
many
no,
rappers
no,
are
no,
there
no.
in like
Like
the
if
plot?
the actor
famous
is a
people.
rapper.
Right, yeah, famous rappers. Okay. Makes sense.
Did you see? Oh man, what was the one where it was some crap about the Predators and Aliens, maybe, where they went...
Alien versus Predators?
What's
the thing with the Capcoms and the Marvels? Oh, Marvel versus Capcom, that's the one.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway, the one who survived was the black woman. Take that.
Oh, yeah, it was Lana Lathan. I saw that movie in theaters. God, that was a horrible decision.
Yeah,
I don't
it was
know
not
why
great.
it
It
was.
was not a great movie.
Anyways, alright.
Okay, Mad
Shout out
Cats.
to Daigo.
Red Bull,
Yeah,
Daigo, Mad Cats, Red
yeah,
Bull.
Okay, and then in other news, CEO's Alex Jabali is no longer a part of Team Iron Galaxy. We mentioned that last week, but we didn't know where he was going. Apparently, he has now joined the Avid group, and you could read all about Alex Jabali on the page, on his About page on the Avid website. That was written by Alex Jabali.
Oh my god.
It talks nothing about how cool he is.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't believe that.
It was written by him?
I'm pretty sure it was.
I don't want to read
Because
it.
he was like, here's my history. I won the Nintendo Championship.
Oh, that's right. You're right. You're right.
Yeah, and then I you know.
Yeah,
it's
no,
like-
you're right. You're
it's
right.
Jabali,
It was.
Yeah.
This is like the thing I know about Avid now, is Jabali
Yeah.
works there.
Yeah.
That's my list of things so far. It's like,
Well,
they
I mean-
exist, Jabali works
So,
there,
but think
and
about
they're
it.
sponsoring events like Combo Breaker.
His role is what, FGC director or something like that?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm
FGC
sure they're
guru.
they're probably gonna just basically consult him and make sure that they try to make all the right decisions for the FGC. You know.
So CEO is gonna get $1 billion.
Yeah,
Well, I mean, but
every
think about it
other
like
event.
this. If you've ever been to CEO, you know that that's a great tournament.
Of course.
It's a
Yeah,
great
oh, yeah,
tournament.
yeah, yeah.
So, I mean, if they're taking direction, and this is solely to play devil's advocate, if they're taking direction from someone who can put on such a great event, at least they have that going for them at this point.
Yeah.
Who knows what else could come?
They also sponsored
That's devil's advocate. Huh?
NCR and Combo Breaker. So that's
Right.
cool.
Oh, see?
Yeah, Combo Breaker coming up is definitely very much being supported by Avid. So.
Yeah, they mentioned, and they even said that they had like some specific things that they were supporting about it, like the stages and the medals
Trophies,
for trophies
yeah.
for all the different games, and like flying commentators out. Like they've like
Well, they said that,
enumerated
like,
these things that they were doing.
Yeah, NCR, like, they had never given out trophies and medals before. And this was the first year that they were able to do that thanks to Avid support. So,
All that stuff's legit. Just would be nice to know what they do. But
yeah, to know more about
You know,
what their plans are.
like literally, what do you do?
Yeah, like, why are you putting money into our scene, and how does that benefit you guys? You
Right.
know what I mean? Like, that's what we want to know. That's all. So,
That's all. But
yeah.
hopefully someday.
Also, Circa Esports, which just recently signed LPN as a Street Fighter player, has signed a Tekken player, Hua Anakin Liu, as their first Tekken player.
Yeah. Anakin got his name in the Atlanta scene because he was known as the one. Like,
Oh really?
that's why his name's
Shouldn't he have been
Anakin.
called Neo then?
No, it was Anakin. He's the brings balance. That was the whole thing. And he has a bunch of accolades on his belt. He's been to.
They know that if they call him Anakin, what they're saying is that one day he's going to murder all of them.
Right, that's basically.
Are they aware of that?
I didn't give him
Have
the
they
name.
seen the movies?
I didn't give him the name, but he definitely
Don't
has.
take your kids around Anakin.
Not the younglings.
Keep the children at home.
Keep the young. I want to
Keep the
play
young ones
Tekken.
away.
Do you?
That's it. Not the younglings. Don't teach them how to sidestep.
You're
No.
breaking my heart. Anyways, but yeah, he has a lot of accolades on his belt. He's been in Korea, played with
Right.
a bunch of the highest level Tekken players. He's won numerous tournaments around the country. Tekken does have a new iteration coming out. That's one of the best things you can do. Congratulations to E-Circle with a great player. Congratulations to Anakin for getting picked up.
Yeah.
Yep.
No, that's super cool. I mean, it's really smart on their part to grab some Tekken players right now, because no one's picking up Tekken players right now.
Exactly.
And they're not thinking. I don't think they're thinking long term necessarily. It is a risk. Like, a lot of us were saying that you shouldn't even have signed any of the Street Fighter 4 players.
I mean,
until
the
you
game,
find out they were
the
good at
console
5.
release date's not even out yet.
Right.
So,
Exactly.
yeah.
So,
But the Tekken Tour is going on
Right.
throughout past to the end of the year. So there's going to be events. There's not only going to be FGC events. They're going to be Wizard World events,
Right.
and he can go to both of these.
Right.
And he's already secured himself a spot in whatever they have coming right now.
sick.
So who knows? You know.
Very cool.
Just some minor news here. Probably no surprise to anyone, but Filipino Champs contract was renewed with Panda Global, so they're going to continue sponsoring him into 2016.
Cool.
Dude, so I don't have information here about it, but EG also announced that they re-signed K-Brad.
Right.
But K-Brad's tweet was genius.
Yeah, it was really funny.
Yeah, he literally, because when I first started reading, I was like, oh damn, like we were
I did
just
too.
talking,
He got me.
Yeah, we were just talking about, and then he basically tweeted out, it is with sad news that EG and I are part of it. Nah, just kidding. They signed me for another year. Ah, take that. You know, it worked really well.
It's very up K-Brad's alley.
Yes.
That's for sure.
Mm-hmm. So he's continuing along with EG, just like Filipino Champ, now continuing with Panda Global.
Also, Mewtwo King got signed.
Oh, I didn't have that.
Fox Mewtwo King.
That's right.
And they had the sickest picture of him, like
with the anime
glasses.
glasses.
It had like the glass. I was like, oh my, that's kind of sick.
They used a picture like that for Kazunoko before, where he's like adjusting the glasses and there's like the flare across it. That's what they used.
Oh, that's
Anybody
cool.
looks cool when they're doing it.
It's
It's like
really
impossible not to look cool while you're like doing that.
That's the only reason I wish I
It's ridiculous, actually.
That's a great pickup, by the way. And
oh man, I'm so happy for Mewtwo King that he's on a team like that.
Dude, I mean,
I really hope there's good support for him and all that sort of stuff.
And he's been around for a long time.
I
he's
tweeted
had
out
some
earlier today
crappy
that
sponsors.
Rick Fox isn't going to take all of his prize money, so
That's important too.
Yeah, no, I mean it's nice for him that he has a legit sponsor because that's
yeah.
it's like a dozen years in the making.
Yeah,
So.
seriously.
Congratulations, Mewtwo King.
Yeah, seriously.
I thought it was awesome how somebody tweeted, I don't know the person, they tweeted that if you went back to 2003 and you said that the guy who did the frame data thread on Smashboards and the guy who's currently playing in the NBA playoffs would like get together and work together someday, you'd be like, no way. There's no way.
You're stupid.
Like, why would you suggest that? It's absurd.
Right.
But here you go.
It's like
That's really cool.
Rick Fox with Echo Fox.
I do like pointing out a lot of community stuff that people in the community point out that produce. One really interesting thing that's been happening for a while now is that Mr. Graham Wolf, I really like how someone called it Wolf Tips one time, but basically he's just been tweeting out little, like, one-sentence tips, like, this is how you can counter this thing.
With a
This
little
is how
GIF,
yeah, and
usually.
it has a little animated GIF showing with it. So he's been doing a lot of really, really cool things on that. A lot of people learning a lot of good information on there. So if you want to check those out, follow him on Twitter, twitter.com/GrahamWolf1. And that, of course, is GrahamWolfe1. So follow him and get some wolf tips. Some more community stuff. This guy, actually, this was really interesting to me because I haven't played the game yet. But Cyant documented exactly how phase shifts work in Pokken. And he actually measured out that different moves have values associated with them, and when they hit, it just counts up a number. Yeah. And as soon as a certain number gets, then it triggers the phase shift from dual mode to field mode.
Some are instant, some fill up the whole thing immediately.
Right. And interestingly enough, like I guess if you activate the bursting, like you can reset the count, and so you can do longer combos and do more damage. And it was just really cool to see like that they broke it down like so scientifically like that. So check that out. That's on YouTube by Cyant. You can check that out. Just go to Shogun.com and do a search for Pokken and phase shift mechanic, and you should be able to find that. One sad news about in Smash Brothers, apparently Zero, who's been pretty much the most dominant player in Smash Wii U of all time. I mean, he might be the most dominant fighting game player of all time. You know, just from what he's been able to accomplish in this game. He's actually revealed that he's actually had a really bad finger injury, which is why he hasn't been entering a lot of tournaments recently. So, I mean, look, I know that
a lot of Smash players have hand or finger or something injuries.
Yeah, those things, dude. I mean, as much as you love the game, especially if you play on the GameCube controller, those things are not conducive to like longevity.
Your hands are
like
done.
You can't continue to do stuff like that
like,
for a long time.
Seriously, like the GameCube controller forces your hand into.
Like I get that's what people are used to, but it was not designed for anything like that.
But apparently, you know, he should be okay, hopefully, and he should be able to recover. And
man, they really used the Dr. Mario picture for that. That's really smart.
That is really funny, actually.
That's good.
I didn't even make that connection, but that is super awesome.
He's like in this pose and everything too, like he's about to hop in there.
He does hope that he'll be backed by CEO.
Okay,
and he'll be
I
able
hope
to
that
play
happens.
CEO.
Yeah, it's that's bad news.
Get well soon, sir.
Yeah.
What else did I have here? Oh, you know what?
Okay.
I don't have the screen capture set up here yet, but
Oh, okay.
but there's just really, really cool King figure that's coming out.
I need
With
that
this.
figure.
My first 4 figures. Yeah,
need that
it's
figure.
super
King
cool.
is sick, dude.
He's a
King
cool
is too
character.
good.
I think he's super cool.
Yeah, it's dude. The first time I saw him in Tekken, I was like, this is the dumbest character I've ever seen in
Really?
my entire life.
I thought he was so
There's
cool.
a guy running around with a cat head that didn't look like it fit. It was like too big. But as
That's
time
true,
went on,
honestly.
like it got better looking. So as the polygons were increased, it started to look.
It's true. It was
better.
kind of tall at first, right?
Yeah.
Wasn't it?
Like the mask didn't look right.
Yeah.
I literally like it was one of the reasons why I made fun of that game. Like I hated Tekken when I first saw it because I
Oh,
thought it was
really?
like a ghetto Virtua Fighter. I was like, this is so stupid. Virtua Fighter's way better. You know that whole thing.
The rare, I remember
Yeah.
that.
Was that a thing? Virtua Fighter versus Tekken?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Dude, they
Early
actually
on.
had billboards in Japan where they had like Jin talking to Akira, and he says, Akira says like, you're 10 years too late or something like that. But it was a billboard. No game actually ever came out, but it was legit like a billboard in Japan that said that.
Damn.
Yeah, and it had
That's
pictures.
cool.
It was crazy.
Yeah, but the thing about it was though, yeah, Tekken kind of blew away.
Yeah.
Virtua Fighter. Yeah.
Yeah, it worked out.
And
Yeah.
this statue is ridiculous.
Yeah,
actually.
like if I had the money, I swear to God I would buy it. I
Like,
swear to God I
It's
would
just
buy
him
it.
doing this pose. You can see it on Shoryuken, but it's like him doing this pose, and it looks really sick.
Yeah, it does.
I wonder how I can-
I'm kind of a sucker for that kind of stuff. Like,
Yeah,
look at all these, dude. This
Oh
is
yeah,
so
look at that.
crazy good.
It just
Oh,
worked
he's got
out
it.
well.
Alright.
It just worked out well.
Have you seen that?
No,
Oh, the
actually-
Ramlethal? Oh
actually, I
my
didn't see
God,
that.
It's
dude.
crazy.
This is
That's-
so sick, dude.
That's awesome looking.
Oh, the Ramlethal that's behind you now?
Yeah, it's like back here.
Oh, just
Yeah, just get out of the way.
Yeah,
There you
just
go.
let
It's that
me-
Ramlethal statue.
So
that's
sick.
behind
I
Like
you.
love
it's
this
really
thing.
far.
Yeah, it's really far. It's really hard to see, but it's. I mean, I can go walk over and zoom in on the camera.
Well,
I was gonna
That's
say
a
we could
bit
just
much.
move it here.
Ah,
No,
it's
it's
too
probably
much
not.
work.
Nah,
It's
man.
too much
It's
work.
great, trust
It's
me.
nice.
Yeah, it's
Alright.
a cool Ramlethal statue. So
That's all there is to that.
okay. Any case, do you want to take a break before we go all in on Civil War? Or do you want to just go in all in on Civil War?
yeah,
now?
let's do that just so we make it super clear that we are going to be talking about the Civil War movie that has come out recently, and it's going to be full of spoilers. And if you don't want to be involved in that stuff, you probably shouldn't hang out, or at least mute us so you can at least
Watch our
see us, and
expression.
we'll do a lot of these.
But
Trust me,
I'm-
he'll be
I'm-
entertaining
dude.
to watch anyway.
Yeah, it's
I'm
gonna be-
really good with
he's gonna
acting
be
out
doing
what
that.
I saw. I think it's my mutant power.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Alright.
Acting, yeah. Well, that's going to come up next, so if you don't want to hear spoilers, have a good night, everybody. But
Alright.
if you do, or if you don't care, either way, we'll see you soon. Hey, have you guys seen this movie? It's called Civil War.
It's Captain America 3, Civil War.
I was so curious how you're gonna intro that. That was pretty good.
We saw it. You guys saw it a week ago,
Yeah, we did.
and then you saw it again with us.
That was my third time seeing
Your
it.
third time. It was first time for me and for
Second.
James. Second for Steve.
It's amazing.
And let me tell you, it was quite an experience. Quite an experience. Not the movie. Movie was great.
Dude,
The experience
so we got 4 tickets all
was
in a row.
this man right here.
Yeah.
In a row, 4 tickets in a row, and I didn't even notice what happened.
Oh,
but
we
it
got
was
you
like,
good.
It was like Sajam just was like, I'm gonna stay back as long as possible, and Tasty went first, and then I went second, and then it was David, and then it was Sajam. So he was like purposely built himself the shield.
He couldn't reach me.
I
Because
couldn't.
he, at
But
max
I was-
range, max range spacing was
Yeah,
David.
my radius. I mean, I got pretty long arms, but the seats, they wouldn't, they weren't.
So he reached out and grabbed David, and I said like out loud, I was like, that's his limit. I'm
Yeah,
safe.
You outspaced him.
Yeah, I outspaced him. I was like, I know
He,
the range.
he won the footsie game.
Yeah. But anyway, it was a trip because, he's like. So one thing that happened was each time there'd be a sick thing that would happen, I would know in advance that there was going to be a sick thing coming because they're sitting on the outsides of us, right? So James and I are where the Steves were,
Right.
and if something cool is going to happen in 10 seconds from now, we'd all be watching here. I'll be watching here, and then I would see this out of the corner of my eye.
Because I can't help
I'm right here.
How do you not
I was
get
right
it?
here, and I had to see this. Like I'm right there. So
Spoiler.
Because like before the helicopter scene.
Yo, that helicopter scene
so
happened.
ridiculous.
Like I don't even know what happened, but I just know that it was so hype.
I was just.
Even James was like,
Look,
"Oh my!" Like
no,
he
no,
sounded
you're-
like something happened in his body.
I
He
was
was
just
like,
going, "Ooh!" But the best part about it is like, so what you guys don't realize, so how Steve is right now. This is exactly just how he is in the theater.
Yeah.
"Yeah, I
So,
don't
like,
have
he
like a
was, like,
cool down."
Dude,
Like
when he was like pulling in the helicopter and the,
so
and
look,
the muscle comes
he
up.
you knew he was ready because he legit jumped to the helicopter. Right, I'm gonna use you guys as props. So he grabs him and he looks at his arm. He's like, "Yeah, and he like starts screaming, and I was like, "Oh shit!" And even James looked at me because he was like, "All right, I gotta give it up." That was.
But the best part about it is you were like, "Yo, look at his arm. He's straight looking at his arm." Like you said that out
he
loud.
was saying that in the
Like,
audience.
in the theater,
That's
and
what he
And
said.
there was a couple
In the movie.
There was a couple of girls in the
Behind
row behind
us,
and they just started
Dying. They couldn't.
They
keep
were
it
laughing
There
so
was like
hard
these
after.
5, 16-year-old girls that thought he was the funniest thing. in the
Dude,
world.
it was so sick though. But okay, look. First off, we got to talk about the action scenes, right?
They were so good.
The opening action scenes, right?
I just think it's
Dude,
funny.
like,
I just think it's funny to do this.
It's just
But
funny because
look, when I'm watching a movie, I am typically pretty impassioned about it. Like I'll be enjoying it,
Yeah.
but I'm not gonna be like acting it out. I've like almost never done that ever.
Oh, okay.
After that, the helicopter scene, right? And then the like helicopter, like Bucky like tries to like kill him, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And the helicopter goes woo. In my chair, I was like woo. Like, as the helicopter's coming at me. I've never done that before.
Exactly. Fucking
I'm
great
telling you,
movie.
It was
dude,
infectious.
Dude, so like every time something sick was gonna happen, him and I would get prepared for it, but I could see you out of the corner of your eye, like looking around, like
What's going on?
what is happening?
I
Tyler?
actually
Like,
never
going
noticed
on?
it happen because I think I was just
He,
because
he was so into it that like I had to repeat myself to say stuff to James. Like I was
No, 'cause
like,
the thing
"Yo,
is,
blah blah blah." It was
I
like,
actually do.
what?
I see. Unlike that, I get hyped for movies.
Yeah.
So like right when the movie started, the first thing Captain America does is kick the truck.
When he kicked,
Oh, he
into
kicked
the
the
dude.
shit out of
Like
that
as
truck.
soon as he kicked the truck and it hit the guy, I was like, "Oh shit!" I was like, "Holy!"
When we watched it the first
Uh-huh.
time, we're like, the movie starts blah blah blah. Captain America, first thing, drop kick, boom, into the truck. We're like, and he's like, holy shit!
I was like, "That
out
guy's dead. He killed that guy. He drop kicked the shit out of that dude.
Yeah.
His soul left his body. By the time he hit the wall, he was
Done.
talking to his dead grandma. Like,
Like, it was like the
Mom,
craziest thing
right?
I've
It was
ever
fucking
seen.
sick. And then when he fucking propelled into the fucking,
yeah.
that dude was like, "What are you doing in here?" He took his mask off, like, "Get the fuck out of here!"
It just throws him.
Like it was, oh my god, it was
like the
so
sickest
sick.
thing.
It was so good.
Oh, it was so amazing. That movie, I watched that movie 4 more times.
Dude,
in
I mean,
theaters, no
honestly,
problem.
like that
Sounds good.
movie, like the action sequences are exactly what you wanted them
Exactly.
to be. Because it was just like, hey, look, you're watching a movie of superheroes. Let's just let the superheroes do their shit. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
dude.
And that's what makes it so good. Like the fact that I love. All you want to do is see Captain America fuck shit up with his shield.
Yep.
And when he throws it off of walls and it bounces in all nonsensical directions, it's like the most amazing thing. And then
Dude.
my favorite line in the movie
That was
was
good.
Spider-Man, where he was just like, that doesn't even obey the laws of physics.
He's like, that shield you got there, it doesn't obey the laws of physics
Dude,
at all.
when the Spider-Man intro came up, I literally moved up in my seat like this, and I was
Dude,
like,
like-
"This is it." This is
Like
the
I
best part of
couldn't
the movie.
even like fathom.
Oh,
like
so good.
when they showed Peter Parker and he was talking to Tony Stark, I was
was
like,
so good.
this is perfect. Like I couldn't have imagined it any better than that.
Yeah.
And then when he
He's
started
the best
fighting,
Spider-Man.
the best Spider-Man 3.
Very good,
Like,
very good.
you're not supposed to talk this much while you're fighting.
Anybody would tell you
Yeah.
when he catches Bucky's, I was like, you got a metal arm? This is so cool. I was like, oh my god.
Yeah.
Literally, everybody was laughing out loud
Yeah,
at all the Spider-Man lines, super
Yeah.
loud.
Yeah.
Like I was like, I wonder if David and James are enjoying the movie. And then he like threw it back. And he's like, hey man, you dropped this, and you both started dying. And I was like, yes.
So me and Pasty Steve, we knew going in. We said, hey, look, one of two things is gonna happen when we walk out of this theater. James is gonna love it, and David's gonna come out with the infamous Ultra David. And you know,
Yeah, that's
like
we
that's
thought
what he's
that was
gonna
a
do.
possibility.
I was already programmed. I knew it.
Yeah.
But like I looked over at David.
We
and
had the talk on the way.
We had the talk.
I'm driving.
We were driving, and we're like, David's not gonna like this movie. James is in, David out. So what ends up happening? I look over at you during the fight scene, and Ant-Man hits that line, and you're like, oh, that was good. I'm like, yo, he just said something. David likes the movie. David loves it. And I was so happy. I was like, he gets to enjoy this with me.
Wait, can we stop
Like
for a
curled
second?
into fetal position.
Can we
yes.
pause a second and talk about the
Okay.
best part about Spider-Man? The best thing about Spider-Man was his Aunt May.
Dude,
got a hot
Marissa Tomei.
Marissa Tomei.
So
Hey,
I had to take a
girl.
whiz in the middle of the movie, and after the fight scene, there was some fight scene right
Yeah,
before
yeah,
the Spider-Man thing. I was like, well, it's probably downtime now because that's how movies work. So I'm gonna
Right.
go take a whiz. And as I started getting up, I saw you leaning forward, and I was like, should I hold on?
And he
what's
stopped.
what's
I saw him.
He
He stopped.
I stopped, and then I walked down to the bottom of the
Oh, I
stairs,
saw
and
you
I
stood-
watched there for like 20 seconds just to like see what it was.
Dude, so, I mean, I don't know if you guys know, like, but there was a movie a long time ago called Only You. That was a romantic comedy that starred Robert Downey Jr. and Marissa Tomei.
Oh, okay.
Which is actually funny, so it's like a reunion for them. But, yeah, dude, Marissa Tomei is like, she's ridiculous.
She is in the
She's
upper
great.
echelon of fine ass moms.
And she
like,
gets to be in Homecoming. She is
Jesus.
Spider-Man's aunt for the rest.
Look, I'm going to tell you this right now, right? If you guys, like, if somehow you saw the movie and was like, she was okay, go watch My Cousin Vinny.
Yeah.
Then
That's
you
like
will
the
learn.
movie.
When
you
I
will
tell you
learn
about-
Marissa Tomei.
Man, whew, that is the finest of fine wine.
Dude, when she
Jesus.
talks about, when she has the speech about the deer coming up to the river getting its head blown off, I mean, that was like, that's like one of the best scenes in that
James.
movie. Dude.
I like the scene where she's talking about the car. You know, she's the expert.
Oh, yeah.
And they're like, she's not the expert. And then that was awesome.
Dude,
That movie is actually watched at many law schools because it's one of the most accurate movies that Hollywood's
Really?
ever made about how the
I've heard
actual
that
legal
before.
process works.
That's
Really?
actually
Yeah.
super cool. That's actually cool.
Oh, man. Oh, but then, the Ant-Man scene.
Ant-Man is the best.
Ant-Man,
Ant-Man's
dude.
the
Giant
They did all the
man.
side. So Black Panther, Ant-Man, and Spider-Man were like the newcomers to this movie. Basically, they were all super duper well done.
Yeah.
Dude,
I feel like they put extra effort into making sure that they were like the shining moments of the movie.
didn't you say like that they tried to make sure every character had the same amount of screen time?
Yeah, if you look at the screen time of all the characters in the movie, they're right at around 27 to 30 minutes. So you're seeing everybody equally throughout the entire film. And I think that's amazing, one. Two is just the fact that you get a definite feel for where everybody is when it comes to what's happening in the
Right,
movie.
yeah.
Yeah.
And
Motivations.
you get motivations and everything,
And
you know?
I'm not to bring up another movie that makes
Oh,
other
cool.
people angry, but I heard Spider-Man has more lines in his movie than Superman has in Batman vs. Superman.
Which is
Like, he actually speaks more lines than Superman
he
does.
talks a lot, so it
Yeah.
would make sense to me. Yeah, he has a lot of chatty lines to fill space.
That movie sucked, just FYI.
Yeah.
I thought that movie was fun. And I'm not going to tell you it was a good movie, but
So let's just say
I had fun.
you ever had to see one in your life. Which movie would you see?
between these two? We're talking
Batman
Civil
vs.
War?
Superman and Civil War.
This is a silly question.
All right, that's all I need to hear.
I'm just saying I thought it was fun. I didn't think it was that good a movie.
I think it was.
just like,
I think it was okay, right? So put it like this. Now I went to see this movie the day before it came out, IMAX 3D, the whole nine, right? And I sat there and I watched that movie, and I like the opening scene happened, and I was just like, yo, he is floating in a tornado of bats. I'm gonna let that pass. Exactly. But it was a dream.
It was
It was
okay.
a dream.
Right.
Don't get me wrong. It was a dream.
Okay.
But the way that movie plays out, if you look at any other movie, superhero or not, you couldn't even say it was a good comic book movie because of the way
it's so
it played
funny.
out.
I actually thought you kind of enjoyed it, and I was like, but wait, you enjoyed that movie, right? And
That was the funniest thing I've ever
on
seen.
his face, like, I swear I kicked your dog, dude. I swear to God, I kicked your dog.
Like slightly, you're like, oh, you kind of enjoyed Batman, and he looked at you like he was like, James, if you say another word, you're going through the window.
Die. Like,
No,
seriously,
I'm just saying.
Steve was just gonna walk up and
That was
that'd
it.
be
Done.
I'd be done.
The best things about Batman vs Superman, and I will say this and I mean it, was Wonder Woman's theme, the scene where Batman got to be Batman, and like that 5-minute Doomsday fight. Because that I feel like it was nothing really substantial that happened during that Doomsday fight. But I'll be goddamn if those shots weren't amazing. When they were doing like the punch and then the zoom in, I was like, okay, that's unique. That's really unique. It hasn't really been done besides the Avengers.
So I liked the Batman. I kind of liked
that.
Was
the scene.
Like, no, I'm just saying, like, I liked him as Batman, and I liked that the Batman is like kind of different than oftentimes when you see him, and he like doesn't want to kill people. He's like not going to use a gun and whatever.
That was my problem with the movie.
So I like having a different Batman. Like, I don't want to always have the same Batman. I don't want to always have the same any character. Over the years, I want to have like different ones so that I can like experience the like myth and legend from a different perspective.
That's
you know what I mean?
Okay.
So I like that it's different. I'm not gonna say it was a good movie. There were some things about it that I thought were fun or that I thought were good, but
Civil War.
there was a lot of stupid stuff too.
Civil War was amazing.
So put it like this. All right, back to Civil War.
Civil War is so good that we like.
I walked out of Batman vs Superman, and I said out loud, I was like, Civil War is going to be amazing. And I saw Civil War, and I was like, my body could have blown apart and come back together like Cyrax, with all different opinions being the best movie ever.
He grabbed my arm so hard in the first showing of Civil War, I thought it was gonna fall off.
I mean, I saw him in the third time he saw Civil War.
Yeah, I know,
was
right?
Still like that.
Dude, okay, so remember the scene where Black Panther walks up?
Oh.
He's like, his arms are behind his back, and he's like just wearing normal clothes, and then Steve yells out loud in the movie, "The poise!" And then he turns to me. He turns to me and says, "He's just standing there." And I was like, "I know. I don't understand. He was just standing there."
The movie, like seriously, it's like one of those quiet scenes. It's like a talking scene where nothing's happening. And then just like all of a sudden, I don't know, a hype. The boy. Like it was.
Did you see how he walked up? He walked up looking at.
You're talking about
I'm Black Panther. You're Captain America. He walked up and he was like.
First, let me flex my pecs a little bit here.
So he walks up and he's like, you know, if anybody knows that he's here, they're gonna come after him. And he looks at him, and he looks out the window and he's like, let them try. And I was like. I got shivers just repeating it, and it wasn't even that good. I'm just saying.
Dude, the Black Panther was sick.
When he was talking to Natasha Romanoff, she said, hey, whoever did this, we're going to bring him in. And he gets up and he says, don't worry about it, Miss Romanoff. I'll kill him myself. And I was like,
bouncing.
Dude, and honestly, look, I'm going to say one thing about Black Panther.
He was amazing. He was so good.
He was so good.
Whoever, like, Academy Award time, they need to give the costume award to Civil War. Because whoever designed Black Panther's costume deserves an Oscar.
Dude,
he looks so
fucking
sick.
amazing.
Dude,
when he slides down the wall.
He Wolverine down the wall.
So I actually saw
and when he was fighting Cap and scratching the shield.
It's
did you see the triple kicks he did?
It's Vibranium,
and then he stopped.
Vibranium versus Vibranium.
He said, Captain America, move out of my way. I won't ask you again. I was like,
I know.
Dude, look, and you know what the coolest thing about it? I was actually watching someone, like an artist. It was a very famous comic artist. He was drawing Black Panther from the movie, right? But he was explaining, he was like, the best thing about the movies is you can put the detail in the costume.
Yeah.
Because when you draw comics, you can't put details in them because then you got to draw those details 700 times in a comic, so you can't make them that detailed. But he's like, in the movie, you can make them as detailed as you want. You can put all these really cool features in there, and then because it's the costume. And dude, Black Panther. I mean, like a lot of the characters you sit there and you're like, okay, they look kind of neat. Like, okay, you know. Like Scarlet Witch doesn't look like Scarlet Witch, but you're like, I'll accept that. But Black Panther was like Black Panther, but it was just like the most badass Black Panther.
The introduction that they had for this guy, when the transition to what happened when Black Panther came out, when he jumps to the roof.
In the suit, right?
No, when he jumps from the roof and he goes and you see the shadow come over him, and you're like,
they play the noise.
Yeah, and they play that. And you're like, what the hell was that? And then it was like, it turns out it was him. And Cap's like, yo, who is that? He's like, I'm about to find out. And he gets down and they start fighting. And I'm like, oh my God. The chase scene? Dude, they were running beside car, and you know people were
he was hitting. He's like, they're running faster than the car.
The best part,
they're outrunning the car.
The best part
Jesus Christ.
is that
He screwed up the camera.
is that Bucky is running mad fast.
Dude,
Black
Bucky-
Panther is running mad fast. Captain America was like, they are so fast he has to get in a car to chase them down.
Yeah.
Dude.
Bucky catches a motorcycle with one
Dude,
metal
he
hand.
threw, he was like, like the slow motion, boom. And I was like, oh my god.
Yeah,
awesome.
and then Black Panther is chasing him, no problem. Gets knocked off the car, catches on the Falcon, jumps back to the car, and then people show up, and then Bucky and Cap put their arms up, and then Black Panther just stood there.
Yeah,
I ain't
that's
putting
true.
my
He
damn hands
was
up.
like, I'm not doing anything. And then War Machine comes and he's like, everybody hands up. And he takes off the mask and he was like, Your Highness. And the way Black Panther looked at Bucky, he was like, I was going, whoa.
Yeah.
There was nobody here.
No,
Man, you knew what was
I
about to
thought it
happen.
was sick in that chase scene when the like rubble comes down and the car that Captain America is in, he like swerves
And
he's
he's
running.
outrunning
He's
him.
already out there.
It's like doing this,
He's already
right? So
out.
look, this is the car,
I
and
remember
this is
laughing
him,
at
and he
that.
was like,
That's
dude,
awesome.
dude, it was legit like outrunning. Oh my god, it was so sick. I'm sorry,
already
Dan.
No, Dan,
Sorry.
Dan's done.
Dan is done.
The
That's
hype
right.
has killed Dan.
Dude. Bottom line, and put like this, and last but not least, okay, so like I was hyped the entire time throughout that movie, and I sincerely mean this. I was going like at 110, right? And I was so hyped in the final scene, that last fight of the movie, that I couldn't get hyped because it was so sad. It was too sad. Like the fact that they got to the point where he was just like, yo, he killed my mom. I have to off this dude. And he was just like, yo, he's my friend. And he was like, I was your friend too. And then they're fighting, and Iron Man gets so mad. He was like, okay, I can't beat you. He's like, but that shield is not yours.
Yeah,
and you see Cap realize, and he's like,
You're right. You're
Just
right.
drops
and walks off, and I was just like, it was so bittersweet.
Yeah.
Because
It was
the
awesome.
movie is
it was
very
so
bittersweet.
It's
Yeah,
so
you know,
bittersweet.
It
See, that's
doesn't
what
end on a
makes-
happy note.
Right,
It's one of those ones where you're like,
I mean, like, I saw some people in the chat complain, like, oh, nobody died or whatever like that. But look, the thing is,
No.
I'm actually
War Machine got paralyzed.
No, look, which is funny, too, because in the comics, Tony Stark gets shot and paralyzed, and that's what creates the War Machine. So they actually, like, kind of flipped it on its head a little bit in there. But the thing about it is, though, I'm glad no one died, because the thing about it
Tony
is...
stank.
Tony
No,
Stark,
that was awesome,
dude.
dude.
Forgot about
No,
that.
because the thing about it is, like, let's go back to that other movie, Batman Superman. The death of Superman was just the biggest, stupidest thing.
Dude,
ever,
I knew
right?
that was
'Cause
going to
it's like,
happen the minute they said, it's
Doomsday.
Doomsday in the movie. I was like, oh,
It's done.
well,
Right.
looks like Superman's dead.
Second movie in the series, they kill Superman. No one believes he's dead. Like, there was none of this
Right,
kind of, like,
okay.
cop-out garbage. You know what I mean? Like, how do you put gravitas when you know the Justice League is coming,
Right.
and then you try to kill Superman and make it all dramatic?
I'm sorry.
You just
Like,
have
you
none of
shot yourself in the foot.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're right.
you
You're
had
right.
no
So-
drama at that
You're right.
point, you know?
And then he came back at the end of the movie. Like, you knew dirt rising
Yeah,
up. Like, well,
yeah,
looks like he
I
whatever.
mean, duh. It's like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, and then think about it. Like, the one thing that I love the most about this movie, like, and people are like, yo, you don't know if you're going to like it. What if it sucks? This is that and other. I said, think about it like this. I went to see Batman vs. Superman before I even sat down in the theater. I knew what was going to happen. I knew. I put it on Twitter. I was like, we're going to become best friends. And Superman might die. Oh, he's not gonna die. I was like, I'm telling you now, I think he's gonna die. Doomsday, if you know anything, that's what's gonna happen. And they mixed three different major comic book storylines together. It was too pushed.
Yeah.
Captain America, I have the hardbound Captain America book at my house sitting right now. And I said, man, I don't know what's gonna happen in this movie. Because Captain America dies in the comic book. And there's so many other like changed things
Right,
that I'm like, how do you make this believable?
I honestly was wondering if they were gonna,
Kill
fake
Cap.
off Cap. Like, he wasn't gonna die. I legitimately was like, were they gonna, make it seem like he was dead? You know what I mean? But they didn't go
And
that
he
route.
comes back in Infinity War or something like that.
Yeah,
I thought it was
yeah.
going to be something like that.
But they just didn't go that route. They're like, we know he dies in the comic, but look, you know he's not going to go away. He's going to be in the Infinity Wars movies. Let's just not even do this.
Right,
Like, let's just not do this garbage here. Let's just let it go. You know what I mean? And I kind of appreciated that. I'm already kind of anti-death in movies as it is, but to me, it was a different reason. It wasn't just like, oh, I'm mad that so-and-so got killed in a movie. It was just like, after what I hadn't seen Batman Superman, but I read everything about it, so I know everything that happened. So So not only, like you said, they became best friends, but they became best friends with the dumbest
They became
reason.
best friends, and then like this is what put like this. But I will say this though, Ben Affleck as Batman was so good. It blew
I liked it.
Like it blew my mind. Like I legit went.
totally called that.
I went in. Yeah, he did. He did call it, and I'm telling you right, I was 100% against it. I'm like, he's gonna be crappy. This is that and other. And I saw the trailer when he walks into the gala and he actually meets Clark Kent, and they say, "Hey, Bruce Wayne," and he hits the smirk, and I was like, "Oh damn, that's gonna be sick," because he looked exactly like animated series Batman, like verbatim. Like he legit did them, and I was like, "Oh, that's gonna be sick." And the one scene where Batman was being Batman, I got
the warehouse fight, right?
Yeah.
I was losing it. I was like,
good.
"Oh my god,"
When,
you know.
when they announced that the next Batman, like the solo Batman movie, would be directed also
It's
by
written,
Ben Affleck,
directed, and it's starring Ben Affleck.
I was like, that's gonna be ridiculous.
You know how you know it's
I,
gonna be
I
good?
might go see that. Like,
You know how you know
I
it's
will.
gonna be good? The last movie that I heard that was written, directed, and starring the person that did all those things was Rocky 1. I'm just saying.
Oscars, heads up.
I'm just saying.
Damn.
The thing about it is, we had this like at the first Wizard World, we had like a 2-hour argument about Ben Affleck, and I was sticking up for him.
He
I was.
was.
Like, look,
And Eris was like, "Yo,
you-
he's gonna suck.
he's like-
you like Ben Affleck? You're dumb, and your mom's dumb." I'm like, "Yo, damn."
yeah,
calm
he's
down."
like, you're not even old enough to know who Ben Affleck is. I was like, that's original. And then he's like, yeah, he's gonna suck and blah blah. And I was like, Batfleck, dude, just watch. Just
But
wait
it
out.
was good. It was
Yeah,
super
The,
good.
the only good thing DC has going for them, and they'll probably fuck it up.
Yeah, I mean, think
But
about
still.
I like the storyline, and I mean, obviously it's not new, but I think it's a really interesting question, like Superman or Batman.
Yeah.
Like, which one do you support? Like,
I mean,
But
how
think
should
about
we
it like
limit
this.
See, but that's why Civil War was just like it just blew
It was
it all
amazing.
away.
I was just gonna say that's
Right,
something that I felt that Civil War
Right,
had that was
uh-huh.
like really interesting, and there was like some meatiness to it, and
Well,
You know
think
what's
about it like
crazy
this.
there's a lot
So,
to like think about.
Right.
So
This is
remember
what's
going into Civil War,
Sokovia Accord.
literally every single person in our group for Civil War was Team Cap.
yeah.
So then I was talking to like
Oh, I'm
another.
not.
Well, the first time we went out.
Okay.
So like literally, so all of it, and then I went. I was talking to like.
Iron Man.
Huh? I'm team the law. I'm team legalist.
So you're
gross.
Team Iron Man.
The process has to matter.
That's Iron Man.
Wait, we
Yeah.
have a Team Iron Man person on the show right now.
Hey man, you can't look. Not everything can go by your own feel and your own morals. All right, society.
I'm about
has
to
to have
karate
say.
chop. I'm about to hit him with the shield. Boom.
You guys think
I'm-
you're so? You guys think you're so fancy? You can.
Wow,
you can do
no,
everything?
no,
Wow.
You
no.
can't. You can't.
Wow.
You can't.
Wow.
You
You
no,
can't.
no,
Also,
you
wait. So sidebar, right?
He's got the 8 frames written in the contract right now. We're fighting people.
So
You can't.
sidebar, right? What happened?
You gotta
the
have a
speech-
process.
The speech that was given
Yeah.
by
Sharon
Sharon
Carter.
was
So good.
actually what Captain America says to Spider-Man in the comic book. When
Yeah,
before
it's a
he
famous
trade
speech. It's a
before he
famous
trades sides, that's what he tells
Mhm.
him. So like the fact that this movie legitimately gave you reasons for these, like every time you thought they were wavering, when Cap was like, you know what, I think I might have to sign it, and he heard her speak, and he was like, you know what am I thinking? And then Tony met that lady, and he was like, this is this guy, and this is why we need to do it.
Right,
And
uh-huh.
the reaffirmation of all these characters saying, you know what, maybe I should, and then for them to go
Right,
back and
yeah,
say,
yeah.
you know what, I'm kind of getting loose, I need to tighten it up. And then you have like the overall factor, which I call the David factor, which is the Vision, who just laid out
Oh,
numbers.
yeah.
Like he legit was like, if you think about it, in the
Paprika.
past 8 years,
Yeah, that's about as well as I can cook too. By the way.
Past 8
in the
years.
past 8 years since Tony Stark has said that he's Iron Man, it has been more of these attacks.
Right,
He said
uh-huh.
the fact that you guys have power, it invites challenge.
Escalation.
And I was like, damn it, David, you're kind of right, but you don't know what you're talking about.
So
Cap-
we were
But
trying to
seriously,
decide who we all were, and I think you're like we decided on the
Vision was
Vision,
in the
right?
sweater, and dude, he was.
I know,
looking
he was
fly,
looking
dude.
real lawyer-y,
Vision's,
wasn't he?
Vision's kind of cool looking.
Yeah.
I mean, I kind of want to be Ant-Man, but I guess I can.
can't.
Vision makes sense.
You can't be
Well,
Ant-Man.
see, you guys both were Captain America's. You were Steve, so I said I was Bucky because he's James, right? So, but
But I don't think personality-wise
Yeah,
any of
yeah,
that works.
yeah.
It doesn't. Yeah.
So what were the based on personalities? Because someone actually said I would be Falcon because I'm like the buddy, like the
You
happy.
can do that. You
but
can
I don't
see
know
that.
if I would be
Lucky, go happy.
I've
Like-
seen you
Well,
be Sam Wilson, though. I've
But the
seen
thing
you
is,
do
like, he's like, I don't know, like he seems almost like too badass to be me.
it. Oh, man, see.
See, you saying that
You
though might
saying
be the
that.
reason.
There it is, man. I'm just saying, man.
Like I feel like I could be Ant-Man because like I'm making like dumb
You
jokes.
can be Ant-Man.
You can
I'm just
definitely
making
be
dumb
Ant-Man.
He's
jokes.
corny enough.
Yeah, and my
yeah.
powers literally are just.
Oh, I thought
except
that was
that
a water
I hate
truck.
ants.
That was awesome.
I thought that was a water The best when he gives Captain America the shield, he's like, "Here's your shield, Captain America."
Oh
Like he
my
says it like so like,
Yeah.
and then he when he meets Cap, he's like, "Captain America, you're great too." Like
Yeah.
super
Shaking
like
the hand.
yeah.
Dude,
I'm shaking your hand way too long.
when he was sitting on the arrow, he's like, "I'm ready, arrow guy." I was crying laughing. It was so good. Oh, dude.
Yeah.
All right, but the last one before I stop talking about this, when he was fighting Hawkeye, when Black Eye, well, I'll say Black Eye, when Black Panther was fighting Hawkeye, and like they were like tangling, he's like, and he catches it, and he like throws him. He's like, "I don't believe we met. My name's Clint." He's like, "I don't care." I was
Yeah, dude, that was the best.
Okay, so the
The
reason
savagery!
No, the
That
reason
was
savagery!
so good.
The
That was
reason
so
that
good.
scene was so good was because right before that is
Uh-huh.
when he's fighting Cap or whatever,
Uh-huh.
and like he's like respects Captain
Right,
America.
right,
Like he
yeah,
is like,
uh-huh.
"Look, Cap, like whatever, right? Like that
Mhm.
kind of stuff." And then like a scene later, you can see he does not respect Hawkeye.
But that's
right?
exactly
No respect.
like that's exactly
No
how it
respect.
is, and that's what makes it even better because all the personalities, the way people acted, up until all everything was blow for blow comic.
Well,
the way it ended, it was comic
So,
status quo.
One of my favorite things in storydom, like it doesn't even matter if it's a movie or a book or whatever, is I love getting a bunch of different unique personalities and seeing how they interact with each other because it's always a different relationship
Sure.
based on who's interacting. And Civil War like gave me all of
Oh,
those.
they
You
just-
know,
it
like
was
everybody
always
who
on point. It was really good for
interacted was completely different the way they interacted with each other.
Yeah, I said on Twitter that I felt like it was real. Like so,
It's very cohesive.
The superheroes still felt like they were real. Like not realistic, obviously, but like
But they were real people. They
real.
have
Yeah,
personalities.
they were people.
Uh-huh.
And then the non-superheroes were still important.
Yeah.
Like your Black
that's-
Widow
I feel
and
like
your
that's-
Hawkeye
Yeah,
and-
like they're not superheroes. They're just like good humans.
Yeah.
You know, like why? How come they're there with like the Vision? Like,
If you
that
notice-
doesn't make any
if
sense.
you
But they
notice-
really did a good job.
If you notice, like I think it was you who said it, but I can't remember. But they were saying, hey, they never, besides Ant-Man, they never called each other by their superhero names. They went by first names. So they would say Steve or Natasha,
Yeah.
like if they or Buck. They never said
Yeah,
Winter
that's true,
Soldier or
yeah.
anything.
Wanda or
But
whatever, yeah.
that's the thing that they do in the Captain America comics. They don't go and say, "Hey, Falcon, come here." They say,
That's
"Yo,
what-
Sam, can I talk to you for
Yeah.
a second?"
That's why in UMBC3, when Steve and Tony call each other Steve and Tony, when they swap out, was like one of my favorite things.
Yeah.
Like when they, it was
That's
just
so
like
good, yeah.
Steve, and then Captain
Yeah,
America
that's
would
true.
jump in. Yeah,
That's
I
true.
loved that part.
So,
I like all of Hulk's. Hulk's are the best.
Doggy or whatever he said about
Doggy, yeah.
Amaterasu.
The only one he names, I think, was She-Hulk, right? Other than that, it's like
Oh really?
yeah.
Oh Jenny.
yeah, he's like Jenny. I think that's the only one. Other than
Well,
that,
that's
it's
his
like
cousin.
yeah.
Yeah.
Robot. You know,
Yeah.
like-
Puny man. It's a
Let's-
magic guy.
Let's talk. We haven't even had a chance to talk about Elizabeth Olsen, dude. Like Elizabeth
Oh.
Olsen.
So like
I can see how she can mess up the Vision's age.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
But I mean, and that's what's even better because it plays like everything that happens that was of substance was played to the point of it being important. Him being distracted by Wanda was because they have a connection. They eventually get into a relationship. So him he made it his point. He's like, look, I want people to see you how I see you. And if you do this, they're never going to look at you the same. And they even apologized to each other after the fight. Was they like, look, yeah, sorry about that. You know?
There was a lot of that actually.
It was a lot.
I mean, it was interesting too because like I was thinking to myself like, okay, in the comics they can do something like this, but I was like, in the movie, are they really gonna try to address Vision and Scarlet Witch's relationship? And then they did, and I was like,
Man.
yo, like they're actually like making them cook and shit. I was
But
like,
it's
this is
crazy. It makes sense because it's like the way that it's so subtle. Like they're doing like they're cooking and they're saying, "Hey, what is this?" Like Vision speaking to her about like the Infinity Stone. Like, "Oh, this is in me, and I'm kind of afraid of it, but
Yeah.
I want to know how it works." And then she retorts with, "You know what? I thought I was this monster, but it turns out I'm actually this." And I was like, "See, that's super believable. Like
Yep.
that's how relationships start." And I was
Yeah.
like, "Damn, that's cool." Because even if I didn't know what was supposed to happen. that
Right.
gives you the perfect lead.
Makes sense.
Oh, I can't wait for the rest of the Marvel
Makes sense.
movies.
Dude, oh my
Kevin
god.
Homecoming?
Feige is a genius, dude.
Homecoming, the solo Spider-Man movie cannot get here faster.
Yeah.
Like,
Dude,
I cannot wait.
we have to wait 2 years for Black Panther.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
that's...
But that's the point, though.
But he's gonna be in the other
I know,
movies,
yes.
though.
Yeah.
Is the thing. He'll be in other movies.
They got, what was
There's
it,
important stuff
Lupita
coming up,
Nyong'o in that movie, and they got the Creed guy, right?
Yeah, they have
Damn,
Michael
I didn't know
B.
that.
Jordan.
Yeah, Michael B. Jordan.
Yeah, dude. Like, and they have what's her name? The chick.
Lupita Nyong'o, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So like that's so cool that they're putting them all in there.
I think that's really sick.
So I was surprised, but I think it's kind of cool that they actually mapped out where Wakanda is. Like I was, it's like, obviously it's made up country.
Right.
So I in the comic books I know it's shown up only a few times. Like for the most part they just like reference it and they don't like here it is because you have to like make up. But I thought that was really cool actually, and they they like treated it well and
It's like a real place.
Like like exactly like that. Grounds it. It's like not in Africa. It's like, there it is.
Right.
You know, just north of the lake. Like there it
DC
is.
didn't do that until maybe Superman came out. They always said they stayed in like all Smallville. So Smallville, Kansas only became a thing, I believe, after Smallville TV show. Like they didn't have any accordance to actual geography. Like it was not a real place.
Well, I mean,
and now they're doing it though.
Except like you could tell they all had the analogous cities, but they just all had the worst names, like Central City.
Yeah, I'm like, come on,
right?
dude.
Central City's in the center,
right?
You know. And then
Yeah, they mapped Sokovia also.
I think that's really.
I
didn't even thought about that,
sense.
but that's actually really sick.
Yeah, it's like something that you can easily miss, and it's not that big of a deal, but it just like adds like a realness to it. It's a real place.
They just did so good with
it. It is so well done.
Chiwetel Ejiofor, like they couldn't have gotten a better actor for Black Panther.
Oh yeah. Oh, Chadwick Boseman.
Chadwick Boseman. Is that what it was?
Yeah.
Dude,
I was kind of against it at first. When he came out on stage, I was like, nope. I was like not buying it, and then I saw this movie, and I was like, damn, I'm just batting 0 for everything. Yeah.
And the guy that played Spider-Man was amazing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm actually.
Paul Rudd as Ant-Man was like
excellent.
It's crazy how good he is.
Fantastic.
I'm actually really, someone said something somewhere, I missed it and I forgot. Oh, the main villain, Zemo.
Yeah.
Like, I was actually kind of torn on him a little
really?
bit. Yeah, but I mean, I guess I didn't realize that he was from the comics and everything like that. And so once I found that out, it kind of made... Because, I mean, I thought it was
really well done.
I just thought it was interesting because Civil War was such a big deal in the comics. It was this big thing, whatever. And in this movie, it was caused by, like, Sokovia dude. You know what I mean?
I like that, though. I thought that was cool.
Yeah, I think
the
really
fact... It had, like, a believable story, and he wasn't, like, some superhuman. He just...
He says, like, I'm not strong enough to beat them.
Stronger men than me have tried.
Yeah.
So how would I fare?
That was actually
I thought that was awesome.
It showed that the stuff that they're doing has consequences, and that's like a lot of the movie is like what you guys are doing is like causing all this nonsense. And
so
just we have to.
Like typically in a superhero movie, they just blow up half the city. Like you don't even think about it. Whatever. Probably a bunch of people died. You don't even consider it. And I like that. I guess Batman vs Superman did this too, but kind of differently. But like the fact that they actually have consequences on real people.
Right. They actually talked about how like at Sokovia a bunch of innocent people died.
Yeah.
Because when you watch the movie, it looks like everyone makes it off the island and everyone's okay. But then in this movie, they're like, no, look, a bunch of people died. In New York, everybody died when the aliens came and attacked.
So another thing, now that you mention it about like how they say there's consequences. So in Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3, right, on the New York stage, if you notice, there's a sign back there with a bulldog while the platform's going up, and it says Damage Control. Damage Control is an organization in the Marvel Universe that only works on damaged areas of the world where superheroes fight.
Oh man,
yeah,
so
that's a real thing.
It's a real thing.
Cool.
It's cool, right? And
DC has something like that.
Apparently, they're supposed to be making a show where each show is like a different cast, like it's a completely different cast, and they're going to places where it was destroyed by superheroes. Exactly.
I could actually watch that.
Super cool.
I never watched TV shows or anything like that, but I could.
And they said it's supposed to be a comedy. Like it's legit. Like
That's
they're going to
actually-
each one, and it's going to be a different crew every time, and they're going to be working on those areas. So.
It's just, I just love what they're doing because not only that, it's also tied in with like the Daredevil show and
Yep,
all that.
all that stuff
Everything
plays a
is
part.
just- I just really, really wish that we could see some of the Shield characters on the movies, or Daredevil eventually show up in the movies. And
I'm
such.
pretty sure they already said Daredevil was going to be in
Daredevil
Infinity War.
and Mockingbird were the only characters that I heard were licensed to be able to show up in the movies.
I think afterwards, because the first person was Bucky, and then everybody after that has a TV clause in their contract. Right. So that's why apparently like Luke Cage and Jessica Jones, they and Iron Fist, they could potentially all play a part in Infinity War, and that kind of plays up the whole 67 character thing. Because even if they get in there and they don't have a lot of lines, you can say, "Yo, who's that guy?" Like, "Oh, that's Iron Fist." Looks like I gotta go watch this whole Netflix series that's been there, you know. And they're building up into a team Netflix thing, and a lot of people complain.
Defenders,
a lot of people complain that they don't. There's not enough information, but they're doing hour episodes for 12 episodes. That's a whole series of movies. You get more than enough. It's just not on the big screen. So.
Yeah. And they're super good too. If you guys haven't seen like the 2 seasons of Daredevil and Jessica Jones,
oh my god, dude,
they're so good.
Dude, Daredevil season 2, I was afraid. I was like, there's no way it's not gonna be as good as the first one. It's like it's not possible. And I went in and I was like, I can't believe they're still doing this. Like I can't. Like I don't know how they're making me care so much. I mean, but they're doing a good job.
The craziest thing about it is, it's like it's the most adult thing that Disney produces.
Yep.
Like not only is it violent, but like Jessica Jones is just sex everywhere, right? And it's just like, and they're super violent. And dude, like when you watch Jessica Jones, like the bad guy Kilgrave, like the way that he played out, like you just watch this movie and like he is seriously like probably one of the most terrifying villains.
He's a creepy guy, and the thing, he's a street level guy. That's the whole thing. Like the thing that he does is not like super world bending. It's legit like a guy can manipulate somebody.
Yeah, and he's really creepy about it too because he's not intimidating.
Yeah, he's a frail guy.
Everything that he does is just so fucked up. Like the stuff that he makes people do, just like you just watch it and you're like I was seriously like, God, like so many times.
And it expands. They talk about it, and it's one of those things. It's like they touch on it, and then they go back to it in more detail. So it's like, yo, that wasn't right what you did. And he was like, I didn't make you do anything you didn't want to do. And you're like, well, what are they talking about? But your power is to do that. And then like a couple episodes later, they're like, blah, 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 blah. He's like, oh, you dirty son of a bitch. You know? And it gives it a whole new dimension. You know what I mean? And like I said, it makes it so once you see that fold out, it's easy for you to take that character and put him next to a Captain America and be like, hey, I want to see how they interact now.
That makes sense,
You know? So it's like, I don't know. If anybody hasn't watched any of those Netflix series, I'm not going to say it's going to be everybody's cup of tea, but if you're concerned about any of that world building that they have going on, please check it out. Because I guarantee you, I was so... Dude, Daredevil Season 2 killed me.
Some people are actually saying that Vision might have shot War Machine on purpose because War Machine hurt Wanda.
That's true.
Oh,
I never even... So. Yo, you are blowing my mind right now.
No, because he wasn't trying to even shoot War Machine, right? Wasn't he trying to shoot...
No, he was trying to shoot...
He was trying to shoot Sam.
But before that, remember when they were running to the... They said, hey, get to the Quinjet. So they were running to the Quinjet, and then when the building fell, she held it up, right? And then War Machine came and shot her with the thing.
With the sonic.
And that's when it fell on them. And that's when he came to help Wanda. Okay. And that's when they took off. And he was like, yo, I got a bogey that's make him a glider. And he was like, boom, and he shot her. So like, I'm pretty...
but it was that Sam.
Yeah,
Sam
Sam dodged.
But Sam dodged. But think about it like... Well, anyways, that's going into...
I don't know. Yeah, okay. In any case,
that's plausible.
Yeah, but Vision felt terrible after, so...
He was sitting... Dude, you can tell... He even said it. When Tony was talking to him at the hospital, he said, what happened? He said, I got... What he said? I got distracted. And he was just like... How did that happen? Yeah. He's like, I didn't know it could happen.
Right, yeah.
And at the end of the movie, when Vision was sitting there with the chess set, he was like, I got to think about this.
Yeah, like he was really questioning everything about himself at that point.
So I think it was an accident. That's why.
Yeah, I mean,
because of that. Yeah.
But think about, I mean, like,
I don't know. Maybe that makes it seem like it's less of an accident, actually. Because.
Vision has went crazy.
Would he have to question himself as much if it was an accident? Like if he just like accidentally
boom.
I mean,
that's the thing. Yeah, exactly.
Like if part of the anger made him shoot.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
Now he's like.
That's plausible.
I've seen this movie 3 times. I guarantee when they show him, he looks angry. He legitimately when he shot up there, he was like. Bing.
You mother.
Yeah, and like they fell down. So like
That makes sense.
And, man.
Interesting.
I can see it being.
Gotta see it again.
Dude, let's go.
2 more times.
Dude,
I'm
you
down.
Let me know when you see
I'm
it
seriously
again,
gonna
dude.
see
Like,
it at
I
least 2
seriously
more
want to
times.
see this
Yeah,
movie
man.
again.
Yeah, I would watch it again too.
I want to see this, dude.
Anyways, I don't want to take up any more of you guys' times, but like,
No, dude,
yo,
so-
whoever that was that said that, you just blew my mind. Now,
That's crazy.
thanks. That's too. I'm almost already gonna see it 2 more
Link
times.
is dead in Majora's Mask level, you know?
Oh,
So,
Dude,
God.
yo, I need to read that.
Yeah.
I need
And you need to read Squall is Dead, too.
I do,
Okay.
because I really like Final Fantasy.
Dude, but dude, that movie, oh god, that movie was so good.
That movie was too
Like,
good.
it was the same reason why I really actually liked X2. It was just because they let the superheroes go crazy. Like, here's their cool powers. Like, my favorite scene in X2 is when Nightcrawler teleports out of the jet, grabs what's her face, and then teleports back in. Like, that scene was just hot shit. Like, I like when you get to see the superheroes do their cool superhero things.
Yeah.
So Ant-Man went Giant Man, Spider-Man
That
was
was
just like
so good.
Spider-Man was just the amazing ever. Black Panther is just like the coolest
Dude,
thing
people
ever.
don't even. But like this,
And then when he like kept Zemo from killing himself,
he was like,
That
dude,
was
when he was like,
excellent,
he
man.
was
I think you're
like,
not
he
done
said,
with you yet.
rage has consumed you, and it's consumed me, and it's consumed them. It won't consume me any longer. I was like, you just gonna declare it to the world? You're just gonna tell the world that I'm never gonna get mad again. Thanks. Thanks for letting me know I made a mistake. And he tries to off himself, and he's like, the
Yeah, I
living
got
is
there in
not
time.
done with you yet. I was like, God damn it, the living is not done with you? Who says that? That is some regal shit. Somebody said that to
The
me. I'm
boys.
like, I'm just saying, man.
No, you're right.
That is
The
some king
boys.
shit.
You're right.
That's
You're
king
right.
shit if I ever seen it in my life.
King dialogue.
That is
Sure,
king
yeah.
dialogue.
You are in love with the kings. That's why you play Leo, huh?
Dude.
It's the regal.
I'm a Leo. It's tatted on my neck. I'm a Leo.
I've seen your
He's-
tweets, dude.
Oh, yeah, the Leo, tweet.
Ugh.
Anyway,
Those are the worst. Those are the worst.
put me in the movie. I'm telling you right now.
Dude.
But I don't, like I said, I don't want to keep talking. I could talk about this all night.
Dude,
So I'm going to let you guys have it.
I totally would
All
be
right.
with
Yeah,
you.
we should probably stop at some point.
All right, no, cool. Hope you guys enjoyed that little. Dude, we had to do that tangent. We had to.
I'm just I'm legit,
It's
like, I'm happy you guys liked it.
Yeah.
And
Because
not only that, but the chat also gave us that mind-blowing vision
Yo,
shot.
That was
Like,
crazy.
that's good stuff.
That
so.
was crazy.
somebody screen capped that and tweeted to me. I remember his face. He was looking
No, he
mad.
looked mad.
He was upset.
Mad,
He did.
yeah.
I think so, yeah.
Wow, I can't believe I didn't notice that.
You fraud! You're not a real Marvel fan.
I guess not. But this is why I see it so many times. I got to get the hype out, cause then I'm telling you, I would have saw it eventually. I'm emotionally caught. I'm emotionally stuck. I'm
All
not
right.
like
Dude,
that.
I
Wrap this
honestly,
thing
let
up,
me
I guess.
tell you what. But last thing I gotta say, I thoroughly enjoyed watching the movie with you.
That was fun. It was fun.
That
really
was so
good.
because like I said, I can get into it too. Like when in those situations, so like I was actually glad to be next to a person that I could do this.
Well, as somebody who
Yeah,
almost never
uh-huh.
gets into it, it was kind of fun to do it for once.
Yeah.
You definitely did.
So, last piece. So I was talking to him. I think one of the things that I'm gonna do for my stream is that I'm gonna pick one subscriber and I'm gonna take them to see a Marvel movie with me.
Oh, that'd be so sick.
That's gonna be my thing.
Make sure you wrap your arm tightly. Make sure you have, maybe you start out with a, maybe if your arm isn't even broken, maybe you come with a cast.
Come with the sling.
Just in case.
That's so
Like
dangerous.
you have to go to if you like go to
Wait.
Evo and you'll watch a movie. With
Are they-
them.
I'm
are
telling you
are
right
they
now, I
supposed
will
to-
watch a movie.
Are they supposed to donate to not go so that they stay healthy? You know. I mean,
But that's gonna be my thing. I'm gonna once I get my subscriber thing up, and we're gonna probably cross promote it with UltraChen too,
right.
and that's gonna be a thing.
Oh
1
my
to
God.
2 people will go see a Marvel movie with
That
me.
sounds awesome,
I
dude.
promise it.
That's a crazy deal.
You really? But
That
thank
is
you guys.
genius.
I'm so
That's
happy that you.
genius.
I'm
That's
so
genius.
happy that you guys went to see
It was
it.
good.
I'm being completely
No,
honest.
no,
It was awesome.
I'll
Had a good time.
see
Let's do it again.
I'll see it again. I'll see it again.
All right. Thanks for hanging out.
Yeah, hope you guys
Everybody.
had fun with the coolness in here and everything. So we'll talk to you guys later. Peace.